Welcome everyone to week 3 of CMSA's League of Legends League. We are watching the Pearl League, Vygar's Vixens versus Kai'Sa's Kittens. Ooh, a beautiful root from Medeo and Gunny putting out these autos onto Fibelisha, and the kill will go to Medeo. Yeah,
so useful. But I don't know.
Here we have it's a potential smite fight as Alex Foes has joined Cake Monster here with the Rift Herald and gets the smite as Vygar's Vixens take this objective away from Kai'Sa's Kittens. Thank you for the leash and good night, as Cake Monster is the one to fall out of all of that.
Yeah, after just taking the top tier 2 as well, which is really, again, that's...
The full combo comes out from Fibelisha, but she will fall to Cake Monster, and the Malphite comes out from Silas to kill Frosty, but now... Oh, Gunny gets away with just a sliver of HP, and Cake Monster as well as Gogi Daddy is the only one remaining on this side to try to get them. Gets the kill onto Cake Monster, but Space Dandy is here to fend off with their massive HP bar. Hero just a little late, unfortunately not able to make any difference, but the Cloud Drake still stands after that 4-4-1 battle in favor of Kai'Sa's Kittens. Okay, here we have it. Fibelisha will beat... Oh, as the Malphite ult comes out from Silas, and the ult from Medeo will take so much damage as Cake Monster carries that fight completely with that Malphite hijack. The Elder Drake might be a risky play for either side as it's the finality of it. Okay, we have Moens coming out with the ult onto Gogi Daddy, trying to layer the CC as Cake Monster will fall victim to Fibelisha's ultimate, and now... With that, red team has a little bit of an advantage. Gogi Daddy just healing right through the Lux ult, but is rooted instead now, as Moens and Medeo are trying to resist the potential taking of the soul, as there we have as there's now 4 cannon minions inside the blue side base, ripping, and the first of the 2 Nexus turrets will fall down. Now, looks the second turret will fall down as Cake Monster goes in for an ult on the Frosty Penguins, as Gogi Daddy, trying to take down the Nexus, is the only one left ults, but is rooted. Oh, and Gunny almost... Oh, Gunny will fall in addition to Cake Monster, and Medeo is left to clean up the mess. Yeah, so with 2 super minions coming from each side, they all seem to be entering the base at about the same time. Will red team just try to take the Nexus? We see Frosty going around, autoing the Nexus, gets 5 autos off before they are stunned. Okay, the ults are coming out, the Malphite ult comes out, Zyra ult comes out, trying to knock up Gunny. Gunny is not able to get autos off to Frosty, and it's still 3v3 as Moens is the next one to fall. Frosty, now only Alex Foes, Hero are ready to take the Nexus as the Winions are shooting at the Nexus. Hero gets 1 auto up. Alex Foes flashes in to get a few autos, and now just Medeo and Space Dandy are here to try to clean up what looks to be 8 super minions, potentially 10 coming in, and that will be it. As Kai'Sa's Kittens wins game 1 with those super minions, MVPs. All right, and welcome back as we now are going to be watching the second game of tonight. It's week 3 of season 3 of CMSA's 2026 League of Legends League, and we are watching Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies versus Jake's Jammers. Whitefire taking that 4th shot from Who Ate My Pop-Tarts. The Q not connecting from Thresh, but it's not important as Whitefire still gets the kill. And now Shark Attack beautifully saving their ADC with that last auto attack that if Doofies had gotten the auto off, Whitefire would have fallen instead. Very much achieving the idea of having some pressure in the bot lane as Corpse Bride and Jules are now on top of Pest. The E comes out from Lux but does not connect. The ult does, but Shark Attack is there in the Dragon Pit after Pest takes that Blast Plant. But now it looks like Thresh is the one on the wrong side as Mina gets onto Whitefire, and Corpse Bride is able to get the kill onto Pest. The Nocturne ult, the hijacked Nocturne ult comes out from Mina and gets Silas out and finishes Shark Attack's HP.
Looks like there's a fight in the bot lane, but or like some skirmishing in the bot lane, but Nocturne turned off the lights, but it didn't do anything.
Oh, dueling Zai ults come out as Mina the Assassin is trying to get onto Whitefire. It manages to, but the Thresh hook, almost gets the kill onto Silas, but Silas instead, Mina the Assassin using their healing abilities to get a double kill as they reach 5-0 in this game. And there might be a little fight here as Corpse Bride has laid down their E as a ward, and Blue team leaving the Herald, backing off to reset it.
Yeah, but it's...
Oh, Mina the Assassin comes in with that Corpse Bride. Corpse Bride forced to barrier, but the Lux ult hijack comes out, and Pest able to get their ult off onto Jules, gets the kill. But now the real Lux ult comes out, and Mina the Assassin is at 10% HP, dies, and the root underneath their turrets, MTP and Corpse Bride able to put out enough damage to kill both Silas and Nasus.
Yeah. And red team is good setup for Soul pretty well. It's gonna be yeah. Ooh.
Okay, a beautiful hook from Shark Attack onto Who Ate My Pop-Tarts lets Whitefire take that kill, but there are 3 members of the red team here. The Xayah ult comes out to dodge that Syndra ult, but Silas will still be looking to get on top of Whitefire, does not able to, and instead both Doofies and Mina the Assassin will fall as the real Nocturne ult comes in, and MTP's TP comes in to make this 5 members of the blue team who have entered the mid lane, and Pest is the only member of the red team left, but that Lux QR and auto will take Pest's entire HP bar. That could have been the start of another fight, but now it's a 4-on-4 in the mid lane, soon to be 5 as Jules seems to be casing set. Oh, the stage is set as Silas uses their own public execution onto Corpse Bride, and the stage has been set by Jin. Oh, there we go. Now Thresh dying as well as Pest is able to collect kills. Oh, the root onto Whitefire leads to their death as Mina the Assassin, Who Ate My Pop-Tarts, and the rest of red team is ready to kill MTP as well. It's a 4 for none.
Yeah, red team setting up vision along the upper river around Baron.
Uh-oh. Okay, here we have the Nocturne ult comes out onto Doofies as Shark Attack is in danger. It gets killed by Pest's ultimate. Doofies will fall to Jules, but in the meantime, Whitefire is being attacked by Mina the Assassin and Star, but Who Ate My Pop-Tarts able to get onto Jules with that 4th shot. Will it happen? Yes, Jules will fall, but Corpse Bride will fall in the backline as well as Mina the Assassin and the Star have been able to kill so many of the members of the blue team. Only MTP remains. And now with a wave coming in and 30 seconds separating the blue side from having 3 of their members back on the side of the field. Let's see. It's 444 stacks that they are trying to use to end the game here as MTP potentially gonna fall to the next Jin auto. Nope. Is able to get back to the altar as Jin is now ignited, using their 4th shot instead on the Nexus as the Star continues to whop on it, but oh, Shark Attack able to get the Star away from the Nexus. We may see a little bit of a repeat of last game as the Star now gets the kill onto MTP, but falls themselves as Shark Attack gets the shutdown and completely helps push the red side out of their base.
I think definitely Senna will definitely put behind, I think. 90, I think, is a little bit behind the pace of the game, but...
Okay, Whitefire caught out by the Syndra stun and the Senna ult as the Nocturne ult comes out from the hijack as Nasus stuck in place as the Star is fighting for their life here, but in the meantime, Corpse Bride and Whitefire and MTP have all fallen. Now, Jules falls as well, and Shark Attack is the last member of the blue team alive as it is nearly a clean ace. Only Mina the Assassin fell on the red side, and the GGs are coming out from both inhibitors to take the game. Game 2 goes to Jake's Jammers. Welcome, everyone, for the long-awaited 3rd game of the night. It is still somehow week 3 in CMSA, and it's the 3rd season, and we will be getting right into it with Zyra Zaddies versus Neela's Naughties. Joining us for the
interesting. Again, like same thing that we saw in the first game. I don't know if it's like maybe it's a new strat that I haven't heard of, but
oh, and there we have Sarah Akemi getting the first blood onto Shades with that flash 4th shot as Shades not in time to use barrier to protect against it. Yeah, and with the kills evened up, this is the first objective of the game, nearly fully taken by Ghostdoors and Shades. It is really early, and Squall is here with their ult, trying to get them off. The ult is popped out from Vel'Koz onto Shades. It is not enough for the kill, though, but Jotaro Abane is going to flash onto Ghostdoors, get the kill there, and Squall just misses the kill onto Misfortune, as Jotaro Abane will be running now to the dragon that is rightfully theirs. Red team is on the grubs. They've taken the first grubs, and Ghostorzov has chased Squall back into the mid lane, perhaps not realizing that the grubs were being taken at the same time.
Yeah.
Ghost Orzhov now. Jogan landing a beautiful double Q and ult and double E to win that fight handily for their team as John gets the fear and ult onto both Jotaro Obane and Blazing Bowman. And now blue team takes 2 of the remaining grubs. Right.
Yeah.
And we see Jotaro Obane starting up the Cloud Drake here as Ghost Orzhov is trying to make their way over. Only 3 members of the red team are here. Jogan launches their full combo at Squall. Squall only at 25% HP, trying to disengage Vladimir away from them, but the TP is coming in from Blazing Bowman's Aatrox as Zoe Reliever launches a beautiful ult at both Ghost Orzhov and Vladimir. The Misfortune ult does not really connect to many people, and there we go. Jotaro Obane lands onto Shades. Shades tries to flash away, but does not get away far enough as Jotaro Obane gets a double kill onto both Ghost Orzhov and Shades, sharing one of them with Blazing Bowman, of course, as that looks to be an easy dragon and stealing some of the jungle from the blue side. We do see Jogan return with a Medjai's, so we'll see as Jogan does land this onto Zoe Reliever, but Zoe Reliever is going to immediately ult. Oh, John flashes into the ult and will... Oh, Jogan will not get away as Jotaro Obane is there on the flank. Sarah Akemi forced to kite away as Shades goes in and then dies as well as red team gets another successful 3 for none. Here we see Jotaro Obane going for Jogan, lands the ult, and the root coming out from Sarah Akemi makes sure that Jogan stands still. The Zoe Reliever Anami ult lands 3 of them, but Jotaro Obane will fall to the bullet time from Misfortune. Squall gets a beautiful triple E as Blazing Bowman is now here 1v4ing. Will they be able to get a kill? They do get a kill onto Vladimir, but not before they equalize back onto them. Squall able to disengage Ghost Orzhov out of there. Sarah Akemi and Zoe Reliever potentially able to 2v3 this with, or 3v3 with Squall, but they do decide better given they have very little vision in this blue side. Squall's gonna do a little bit of poke. Oh, but Ghost Orzhov forces the flash out of Squall, and now Urgot flips Aatrox into their team. Aatrox ult comes out, but it is not enough as Blazing Bowman will fall immediately. So Reliever lands a 3-person ult, but it's not enough as she's now forced to flash away. The ult comes out from Warwick, but all of 3 members of the blue team, 4 now with Jogan, able to quickly get the kill onto Jotaro Obane as the ult comes out to force Zoe Reliever completely out of the fight. And now, the dragon's finally up. Now, blue team is divided by Zoe Reliever, but no, it's Zoe Reliever being caught out as John and Ghost Orzhov are here to quickly do some damage. Now, Jotaro Obane coming from the back, able to get onto Ghost Orzhov, but is it enough as the grievous wounds is so much, and now John is able to continue that eating. Ghost Orzhov will fall to Squall, but the Zanyas will protect him from the bullet time, as Aatrox is the one flipped over by Urgot, and now Blazing Bowman will relaunch the World Under to get out of there alive. And it's a 3v3, but not sure what red team is going to be able to do to earn their jungle back. The soul point for either of the teams is now up, and blue team, all besides Vladimir, are ready and here, but every member of the red team is here. So we'll see as Zarazatis are now forced to relinquish priority over the Dragon Pit.
Yeah, the key ults, like Misfortune ult is not up yet. It's almost up, so they're waiting on that. Yeah, you can even see them pinging it in the chat, right? So, waiting for that Misfortune ult before they go in. But Warwick's already on the Dragon, and it's more than halfway done.
Oh, and we see a beautiful smite come out from Ghost Orzhov to steal the dragon away from Jotaro and kill Jotaro in the exact same moment as that Lux ult comes out. Now going on to Zoe Reliever, Vladimir and Ghost Orzhov, Shades, Jogan are here, while John is fighting against Blazing Bowman, Sarah, and Squall. They manage to get onto Blazing Bowman, locking each of them down one by one as they are goon squatting through the jungle, forcing Squall and Sarah coming to run away from their base to try to get out of here. But Squall and Sarah Akemi are seemingly fish stuck in the barrel. The cleanse comes out, but it will not likely be enough as Ghost Orzhov is so darn tanky. The Zanyas comes out from Squall, but still they will fall. Potentially to put some wards down and scope out how they can catch someone out. And Squall is the first victim, running seemingly blind in as Zoe Reliever and Jotaro are not far behind. Ghost Orzhov gets onto Jotaro Obane to stop any disengage as Shades gets the kill onto Vel'Koz. But now the Urgot ult comes out and Jotaro Obane will be the victim here. Blazing Bowman chasing after Shades, but Vladimir is there to flash in the way. Wow, protecting their ADC perfectly as Ghost Orzhov able to put Blazing Bowman and Zoe Reliever on the run in the reverse direction. The taunts and stuns all come out and Blazing Bowman will fall as Sarah Akemi is trying to disengage from a distance, but now Zoe Reliever trying to run for her life back to her turret. The Ghost Orzhov Ramescu able to get onto her, and she will be the next one to fall as well, as there's one member of the red team left. As opens up the mid lane for a siege, as only Squall remains to try to protect this. Hello and welcome. We're so sorry to cut the highlights short, but we are back for another week of CMSA's League of Legends League, where we are going to be watching very soon the first game of the night. DRK, welcome back to the stream. We're so happy to have you.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here again for another week. Yeah, excited to cast again. Excited to see what the games turn out to be tonight.
Yeah, and we are getting right into it with the draft, where we have Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies versus Lads Delulu Lulus in the Ruby League. And we're getting right into it. The first bans of Kayn and Syndra have already been thrown at each other.
Yeah, and we've been looking at some of the stats already, and that Syndra ban is not surprising to me at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. Because I know I shared this with you already, DRK, but let's take a look at some, while we're watching this draft, maybe we can bring up some of the takeaways we have from looking at the data for the first 2 weeks, I believe. This doesn't include the very first week, but it'll include week 2 and week 3. And so we've got Syndra has the highest presence in the Ruby League. And so we shouldn't be surprised to see her banned. She is banned almost twice as much as she's picked, and her win rate is 83.3%. She's winning these games, and that's the reason why her pick ban rate, her presence overall, she's in 95% of games. That means there's only one game in the past weeks that she hasn't been picked or banned.
Yeah, with those stats, she's definitely earning her place on the ban list. So
yeah, absolutely. And rounding out our bans for each side here, we've got Ornn, Seraphine, Kayn. I can understand Ornn and Seraphine very much. Seraphine also one of the supports that's really popular in the Ruby League. And then we've got Syndra, Ezreal, Anivia.
I also know Seraphine bot has been really popular in the meta for the past couple of weeks. Is that something we also see in Ruby League, or has it mainly been played in support?
Mostly in support, but I think that once we get to the stage of mages in the bot lane, there's not going to be any turning back, because they are so darn oppressive. And speaking of mages in the bot lane, the answer to Seraphine in a lot of ways, Sylas appearing here. So even though Seraphine is banned, we're still gonna see. Oh no, we're not going to see Sylas. Potentially later in the draft, we see Lads Delulu's opt for Viego instead. Okay, and here let's continue. Which league is this? We are watching the Ruby League. Thank you, DRK, for joining in the chat there.
Yeah, of course. Happy to help where I can.
Yeah. Okay, and as a reminder, if this is your first time tuning in to CMSA, the Ruby League is everyone in CMSA from gold to, we have some diamond players playing in Ruby now with Topaz merging with Ruby. And so we've got Nami also being chosen here. I know Nami also a favorite support, though potentially one of the more polarizing in terms of win rates. I know she went through quite the shakeup with losing an Imperial Mandate, and with the new support meta and new mage bot meta, you'd think she has a really good place, but it's really been shaky for Nami.
Yeah, her win rate in Ruby these past couple of weeks has not been good. Sitting at a 12.5 win rate, so not looking good for Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies right now.
Right.
But maybe they'll turn it around with the Nami pick.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's not 0. We'll talk to you after this game when we have a little break about the champions who have like a literal 0% win rate but are still being chosen.
Yeah, there are some up there, and some of them are really tragic.
I could see DRK, you're like, oh no, don't bring it up.
Yeah.
But we will get to that. No spoilers ahead of us, as we've got this game to look into, and I'm excited to see Soraka Yunara on Lads Delulu Lulus. Okay, and we've got the first ban of the second round. We're getting rid of Urgot in the top lane, which makes me think, are we potentially seeing Nasus jungle, or at least that's the thought that's coming out of Lads Delulu Lulus?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, NASA's jungle. I mean, it's interesting because they already have Viego, and I would assume Viego goes jungle, right? Or for red team.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
but then they're still maybe not caring about any Viego counters that they could be thinking of. It's just they're willing to risk it all and put their bans instead towards top and mid.
yeah. Oh, I missed that. Blaine's Pirate Beauty Baddies picked Nasus first. I missed that.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be a blind Nasus jungle. I mean, the flex power that we see coming out on some of these teams is really amazing to me, because they, banning now Sion and Shen, they've got to focus on the top lane, and maybe they're banning out some things that certainly they're not picking Vayne. They might not care about Sion in that case, but who knows? We'll see in just a little bit, because it's going to be the double choice on Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies right after. Okay, we see Ari being hovered.
Yeah. Ari, another very popular mid laner in Ruby, so not surprising to see that come through again.
Yeah. I know, even last season, one of the most popular mid laners, and it's not too long since the days of like 35% pick rate on Ari, especially with the Faker skin that came out. She's just been a consistent in pro and in competitive coordinated play. She's that girl.
Yeah.
So we see Pest picking up Lissandra in the mid lane.
Yep, and now we'll finally get our answer if Nasus is jungle or top with the final pick from Durganoon.
Absolutely. Okay. And I am ready. Because ultimately red side, ooh, yeah, we see it is Nasus jungle because we've got Mordekaiser coming out in the top lane. And what more, the fact that they knew this on the red side, that was Nasus jungle, and that they could still save their top lane to be the counter pick, in spite of what might have been a flex from Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies.
Yeah.
So we see Renekton coming out. Renekton? I want to look it up to see who are the Mordekaiser counters, because in my point of view, I'm like, Mordekaiser feels good no matter where you are.
Yeah, Mordekaiser I feel like always has really strong utility, especially those mid to late game fights where you can take out like the ADC from the fight and really like change up the dynamic. So always Mordekaiser is always useful.
Yeah, and so we've got Set coming out, and Set obviously really nice in the top lane, really nice for their team to be able to control zones. It seems like they have much more of an assassin team, and they're just putting Set up to be the beef, as I see Midnight Snack in chat saying that Mord is strong and beefy. We've got beef on both sides, as it looks like we've got very similar compositions actually on both ends here, except for the fact that Nasus is the wild card in the jungle here.
Yeah, Nasus is definitely the wild card in the jungle. We've got more frontline, I think, but Nasus has been really popular in the jungle lately. They've been able, you can stack really easily. So
yeah, and we'll see. Last week we had really long games, and perhaps Nasus is just the exact thing that Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies wants to put in to a long game. I know we got a little bit of a delayed start on our end, but with all of that, we're still just about 2 minutes away from getting into this game. DRK, what side would you rather be on in these two team comps?
yeah, I'm like looking through the two team comps. I feel like for I think I want to be more on blue side with Blaine Pirate Beauty Baddies. I think it's just the ease of execution seems a little bit more straightforward for them. It's just you got two frontline champions. You've got Jin, Nami, and Lissandra doing damage from the back to the mid to back side of the fight. So I think it's just a lot more ease of execution. I think for the other team, for red side, I think you've got to have Ari and Viego going in at the right times and picking off Jin or Nami, right, from the back line. There's not really there's not really other good targets for them unless they get really far ahead early.
It's true. The pick potential, I mean, the very fast burst pick, that is on Lads Delululus on red side. But the more conservative style play to play slow and just layer CC on top of each other, and then even remove someone who's a problem from the fight to, let's say, remove Viego, because he's not going to one-shot Mordekaiser. And then with the rest of his team, or just remove Set from the fight. And then all of a sudden it's all of these squishy champions on red side that can they take a Lissandra ult on top of a Jin W, on top of a Nami Q. It's going to be hard if they're not spread and well enough to avoid the massive amounts of CC coming out from blue side.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And then like that Jin point too, like Jin likes it when there's not too many tanks on the other team, and the only tank that you see on red side is Set, and Set's like sort of like a 80 bruiser, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of easier targets for Jin to kill this game, and if Jin can get ahead, they'll have a field day for sure.
Yeah, the only downside I see, and positive for Lads Delululus, their assassination might be the downfall of blue side here, because not a lot of movement available to these champions. And if Viego can start to snowball, it's going to be really scary if you're Jin or Nami walking anywhere around the map where you could be Ari charmed and with impunity, right? Because there's nothing that can really catch Viego or Ari from these two teams unless Lissandra's there holding Jin and Nami's hand. That's the future that I'm predicting, is that it really will be on like a knife's edge with who gets the pick versus layered CC first.
Yeah, I agree. It's really going to depend on that early game. Can Viego and Ari pick up a couple kills and get ahead in gold? And that'll let them control like the skirmishes and fights later.
All right. And as you can see, the draft window was taken away from us, which means we are almost ready for the first game of the night. Oh, and let's see. Let's head on over. Let's just get this set up. And with that, we are ready. And welcome, everyone, to the first game of the night. We are watching CMSA's 2026 season. It is season 3, and we're off to it. We see the pings coming out to start taking control of these bushes.
Yeah. In bot lane, it's always who can get to the middle brush first, or put a ward in the middle brush first. So.
And it looks like Whitefire's just a little bit stuck in base, perhaps mulling over what to buy. See, Mina the Assassin and Cookie Nab are going for this priority vision here, while Dr. Fox PhD got the similar ward up top in the red side chickens. So no excitement for us in the very first minute of the game, just all according to plan.
Yeah, lines have been drawn, so everyone's... Although Set's still in the top river, but...
All right. And seemingly they've got knowledge that each other have... that the wards are on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm excited for this week because there were such long games last week, and I know that everyone has expressed their hesitation to go through another hour-long jam, which some of them we didn't even get to catch on stream, but with that, we'll see if there's some reinvigoration to get these games done faster, and what the plan is that each team has to do it. Okay, we see the level 2 come first for Lads Delululus, and it's a little bit of a XP starving for this Nami. Oh, but beautiful trading coming out from Whitefire onto Emo Loser with that 4th shot.
Yeah, It looked like Nami was just maybe a minion or two behind everyone else.
Okay, and with that, we see Viego's done with the first side of his clear, while Nasus still struggling on the his third camp on those wolves. I mean, obviously you want to make sure when you're playing Nasus that you are getting all of the stacks possible, but with that, Viego's almost done with his entire clear at 2 minutes 30, and Nasus just starting on his second half.
Yeah, Mina the Assassin's really like. This is a faster clear than usual for junglers too. They've been able to clear really well on Viego.
It's great. We see, wow. With that, I mean, not sure if that ward even lasted for them to get vision on Nasus, but the King Yeti able to just push with impunity in the top lane. That might be a big difference with... I'm not sure how Nasus plans to gank in the top lane.
Yeah, I think it would have to be like a Mordekaiser pull-in or something.
Okay, we see Mina the Assassin walking over a ward here, but going for the first gank on bot lane. Silveranti lands a clutch bubble in the darkness, essentially, as Whitefire taking a little bit of damage from Mina the Assassin, who was able to get on top of them, and easily avoided gank, as Silveranti only used one summoner spell, but that is a win for Mina.
Yeah, one summoner spell, but I'm sure you would have liked it.
The flash come in from Emo Loser. Sorry to interrupt you, DRK, as that is a beautiful trade for Ladzulululus, who, well, now Whitefire is stuck in place. It's first blood over to Emo Loser with the beautiful silence from Ritsu to keep them held in place.
Yeah. Yeah, good silence from Soraka. Just Jhin wasn't able to get out of the silence field in time, unfortunately.
No, those autos sometimes, and especially if you're used to playing Jhin already having crit and being able to move fast, it feels like, why am I stuck in place all of a sudden?
Yeah.
But with that, it's off to the races in terms of kills, and Red Side taking a little bit of a lead, about 1k gold's lead, with given the jungle CS gap and a little bit of that first blood.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, no flashes blown in the bot lane, and I was immediately proven wrong. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we do see now it's one sum on Nami to two on Ritsu that are left. Ooh, we see Mina the Assassin going in for a gank. The flash comes out from Ahri, met by a flash to evade that charm from Lissandra, as nothing will come of it except for traded flashes.
Yeah. And then Mina the Assassin's helping Ahri push and back here.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what you want your jungler to do in that situation when you are this type of champion, when you are Ahri. Because I think the plan, if I know Cookie Nabber, is get down to bot lane as soon as possible, because Yunara, unlike a champion like Tristana, can choose whether she wants to push that wave or not. And
yeah,
seems like they are letting some space go in, but look at this warding and trapping already here in the bot lane. It is full vision central.
Yeah, good vision control from the Jhin Nami, despite being a little bit behind early.
Yeah, and we see a little bit of clearing coming out from Mina the Assassin, as Cookie Nabber might also be headed towards the bot lane. Oh, but knowing better after all those wards have been cleared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, taking a look at the rest of the map, like as we talked about, King Yeti's building up a CS lead in the top lane.
Oh, wow. Mina the Assassin stuck under turret and taking 3 turret shots, as Lissandra has fully kept them underneath the turret, and now Cookie Nabber on the defensive, forced to walk away. Oh, we see also a lane gank from Dr. Fox PhD, with what seems to be very little knowledge coming from Ritsu and Emo Loser. We can see their perspective now. The bubble comes out, and with the Wither, Emo Loser forced to try to navigate around Ritsu, but with that W, Ritsu may be able to save them, and the heal comes out from Soraka. We see the advantage of having those summoner spells while the enemy does not.
Yeah, and they've pinged Lissandra's on the way as well.
Yeah, we've got 4 in the bot lane. Here, Dr. Fox PhD flashes forward with the Wither, and it'll be Lissandra's kill onto Ritsu. Wow, a beautiful dive. I mean, sure, the pressure may have been lifted off of mid for the Cookie Napper to just be able to push. As now we're fighting in the top lane. Okay, we've got King Yeti trying to lure Durganoon towards their minions, but looks like it'll just be a detente and just refreshing of HP. We know how those bruisers do.
Yep, and just an exchange of ults in the top lane.
Yeah,
it's always a little bit interesting watching the Mordekaiser ult visually.
Yes, where it's like, are you sure that they're inside the ult but there's just this little translucent effect that occurs there. Okay, with just 15 seconds before the grubs are on the map, we see that Mina the Assassin has made their way up to the top lane, as now another skirmish is engaged, and we see the pool opening up. The stuns come out onto Durganoon, but Durganoon is going to be able to flash away in time, giving potentially the pressure and priority that Mina the Assassin wanted to start taking the grubs now.
Yeah, Dr. Fox PhD is in the top river, and
okay, we see this 2v2 potential skirmish happening, but nope, just clearing of vision, making sure that there's no one here.
Yep, everyone backs off, but it looks like Red, with the pressure on top, is able to go towards grubs.
Ooh, there we see Lissandra charmed under the turret, taking 2 turret shots from Cookie Nabber. Oh, and with that, the ult is popped by Ari, but then in response, Lissandra is going to ult herself. Frozen Tomb comes out, and now Lissandra with one more auto gets a solo kill onto Cookie Nabber. Beautifully done.
Yeah, good sidestepping from Lissandra to miss that charm, that second charm there.
And we see just a little bit of fighting coming out from Emo Loser onto Whitefire with the supports in tow, but there's so much sustain in this lane, it's hard to tell what's actually happening. As we do see the Nami ult comes out as Emo Loser forced to kite around it, but doesn't seem like it's going to be that much of a difference, as the sustain is just so strong on both sides here.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see an early executioners from either of the AD carries.
Oh, certainly we've got the Oblivion Orb on Silverante's Nami already to understand how strong that Soraka healing is, that the priorities have been made. Got both junglers on the bot side of the map. The curtain call is opened up by Jhin, immediately taking out Ritsu's life. And Emo Loser is now forced, to flash out of that beautifully placed Nami bubble that would have taken their life if not.
Yeah.
Okay, Durganoon fighting once again with King Yeti. No kills or deaths on that side of the map, as now it looks like Dr. Fox PhD, Whitefire, and Silverante are teasing out the dragon. Of course, they don't know that the vision is here. Now they do with that control word, but Mina the Assassin potentially in a position with some of their team in tow to try to put up some resistance here. Instead, saying rather not, as the first dragon seems safely in the hands of Blaine's pirate booty baddies.
Yeah, I think Yunara just back. They seem they were kind of low from that last fight, so yeah, no way for them to contest the dragon here.
Yeah, and often that can be the winning play, is to know when to fold them, know when to give it up, as they are still ahead on gold in spite of the fact that it's 4-1. That can sometimes be confusing to look at the top of the screen and not know that it's actually effective gold here.
Yeah, you have to also look at those CS leads, and there's a decent CS lead in the top lane, especially, and in the jungle.
Right. And so with that, we'll see the first items are likely going to come out of the red side. Oh, as we see the Mordekaiser ult has popped, King Yeti now in there, but in tow is Mina the Assassin, ready for King Yeti to get out of there, but instead it'll be a solo kill for Durganoon, who's now ready for more, trying to get onto Mina the Assassin, but Mina the Assassin instead will use their ult to escape from the top lane.
Yeah. Nice solo kill for the Mordekaiser after losing a lot of CS, so kind of evens up the difference in the top lane.
Yeah, and a well-timed one too, where it didn't seem like King Yeti had many resources to get out of it this time, as opposed to last time where, I mean, but now Durganoon is potentially going to come back to lane with a Rylai's Crystal Scepter, and that might spell the end for any kiting that King Yeti would hope to do.
Yeah, Mordekaiser with Rylai's early is pretty brutal to play into.
Yeah. Okay, and similarly in the bot lane, it is 1 kill for each AD carry there, as now both mid laners, if we just zoom out just a little bit, we're eyeing the bot lane Lissandra just for a little longer as Emo Loser fighting for these wards and this vision control. You know, the assassin potentially waiting in the wings.
Yeah, Emo Loser built up a little bit of a CS lead on Yunar in the bot lane.
Yeah, and with that call, we're gonna see both ADCs now have their starter item, the Doran's Blade, and a call. But of course, Yunar is gonna be the one to complete it first, as here we see the ult gets popped by Sage, by Emo Loser, and now Whitefire in danger, forced to barrier under turret. You know, the assassin coming in with that mist. And we'll see if this wave gets pushed in very fast. We may be able to see a dive happen here. Of course, up in the top lane, we do see that there's some fighting happening. The Nami bubble, beautifully done to really tranquilize this, what otherwise would have been a beautiful dive. Ritsu forced to go behind all other members of their team as the Lissandra E comes through, the flash W and the ult onto Ritsu, as Ritsu will die, but then so will Emo Loser to Dr. Fox PhD performing a lane kink in here. And the charm comes out from Cookie Nabber, trying to continue the fight, it seems, but no. Dr. Fox PhD is going to be able to sit under their turret, as now it's a dive in the opposite direction. Dr. Fox PhD flashes forward with the Q, and Mina the Assassin now is forced to, just sit with the Lissandra passive on them, but the turret is going to reclaim at least 1 life back, as Lissandra will fall, giving over their shutdown back to Cookie Nabber.
Yeah, that's a 4-for-1 in favor of blue side, so...
Yeah, where the shutdown doesn't feel like it's as worth it. Ooh. Really nicely done by King Yeti to get the slam into their own turret.
And now first turret goes down in the bot lane. With 4 people there.
Yeah,
it looks like Ahri's just not able to rotate in time to match. Lissandra's just able to rotate a little bit earlier, and that's making the difference in these fights.
Yeah, and it seems to me to be a little bit of a commitment difference. I won't say issue. No commitment issues, but Cookie Nabber was eyeing at the same time as Lissandra. It's just that Ahri is not able to duel Lissandra in the same way that Lissandra's able to get Ahri away from her team. So Ahri was not able to just walk down alone. See King Yeti going for Durganoon here, knowing that Cookie Nabber is in tow. Durganoon throwing out the Ignite onto King Yeti. Now there's a little bit of a kiting game as Cookie Nabber looking to finish Durganoon off here. All right, instead, able to just walk away freely, as now 3 members of the red team in the top lane looking to get some plates here. Looks like they may get this turret as well.
Yeah, it does at least relieve some pressure in the top lane for side, even if there's no kill, so...
Yeah, but as this is happening, we know that the Cloud Drake, the second Drake of the game, will be up in just 10 seconds, and Dr. Fox PhD and Lissandra are here, ready to take it, as blue team has quite the priority. And we see Mina the Assassin on the top side, pinging the Rift Herald, as it's going to be a handshake.
Yeah, they're already set up there. It's just, you don't want to give over a second Drake, but it's the best you can do in here. So.
Yeah, and red side, we can tell from the objectives already, there's been a priority on the top side of the map. Not one that amounts to ganks necessarily, but of course, with the Grubs and the Herald, that is some tower pushing bonus that they really would not want the blue team to have this game.
Yeah.
All right, the ult comes out from Mordekaiser to get Mina the Assassin tranquilized a little bit. Oh, but the ult comes out, but not fast enough, as Durganoon is able to just simply walk away with Viego's soul. Oh, instead going on to Cookie Nabber here. We'll see if Cookie Nabber... Oh, the ult is popped. And we see in the mid lane, Dr. Fox PhD was able to get a kill. Oh, and it is back and forth as both Cookie Nabber and Durganoon give up their lives.
Yeah. So in the end, it's like a 2-for-3, but some important shutdowns did go over to key members on the red team, so...
Yeah, it is Scrap City, as the game is nearly completely even. but it's just back and forth with kills on kills. In spite of the fact that it looks like blue has quite the advantage in kills and dragons, we see the gold is just about even.
Yeah, it's just been really back and forth, lots of scrapping for both teams. So I think the two dragons will make a difference later. I think red side's going to need to start prioritizing bot river. They do not want to give over soul point and then soul easily. So
yeah, and with that amount of damage onto the turrets that red side has been able to do, they still have the Rift Herald in their pocket. And it looks like we have Mina the Assassin coming towards mid lane. I think it is almost time. Depending on who shows up on the map first, we may see the Herald dropped pretty soon.
Yeah.
But we do have a little bit of a lull in epic monsters. We got 2 minutes until the Baron shows up on the map, and 3 until the next Drake, which we now know is the... Ooh, we got Mina the Assassin going in with a quick stun onto Silveranti to take half of their HP away.
But with Nami W, that's not gonna matter too much in a few minutes.
Yeah. Okay, we see Mina the Assassin coming back to Durganoon. Of course, Durganoon has their ult, and Mina the Assassin thinks better not gank.
Yeah. Interesting to see the Tunneler come from Durganoon. I wonder what that's going to build into. Tunneler plus Dagger.
Yeah, potentially the item that I cannot recall right now, but the ultimate related bruiser item. Now that Mordekaiser has those AD scalings and his ult is so necessary, he may be going for that hex plate, is what I believe the first part of the item's name is. Okay,
interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen a Mordekaiser build that before, but I think it makes sense with how often he's been needing to ult this game.
Yeah, and also attack speed, very nice on Mordekaiser, because those autos are doing magic damage either way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and with that, we are 2 minutes closer to each of our objectives. We've got just 45 seconds until the Baron, a minute and a half until the Dragon, and we know that these dragons have gone almost as soon as they've been appearing on the map.
Yeah. Although, yeah, another minute until Chemtech Drake, but Bot River is like completely covered in blue vision right now.
Yes.
There is not a single red ward beyond the river.
Just to give a view of what it looks like there, as we've got more scrapping in the top lane. This time, seemingly like Durganoon had to be on the defensive there, walking away from King Yeti's turret. Okay, now this positioning around here, we've got Lissandra waiting for Mina the Assassin to round this corner. The Frozen Tomb comes out onto Mina the Assassin as Dr. Fox PhD is on the other side. Mina the Assassin trying to get away, but is not able to, as that Q from Lissandra will take the rest of their life. And this will pretty solidly be a Chemtech Drake in favor of Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies for soul points, as now the members of the red team are looking for what they can get around the map in response.
Yeah, it looks like Viego wanted to use the Eye of the Herald bot lane, but just lost track of who was where on the map.
Yes, very dangerous to try to force a play, but it would have been the proper distraction, as now the members of the red team, knowing they're not going for this dragon, Emo Loser and Ritsu are both up here waiting for Durganoon to get out of this ult, hoping that King Yeti can survive, but it looks like, King Yeti was able to survive the Mordekaiser ult, and with the help of their bot lane, able to get a kill onto the top, onto the enemy top laner, Mordekaiser. And even though they won't get soul point, they won't get this Chemtech Drake, perhaps they will be able to push the top lane a little further, especially now that they know the Rift Herald is coming all the way from base.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they have to give up Chem. It's unfortunate, though, that blue team is now on soul point, so...
Yeah, and with every Chemtech Drake, the healing on Nasus, on Mordekaiser, from Nami, it's all going to be enhanced. It's a very scary team to give Chemtech Soul and Chemtech Drakes to.
Yeah. I wonder, does Chemtech Soul affect Lissandra ult healing? I doubt it, but...
The Drakes will affect the healing on Lissandra ult if she ults herself, but The soul, of course, just gives the extra damage reduction, which anyone can use rather than the heal and shield power.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then.
Okay, and with that, oh, we see a total reversal as the top lane has moved bot lane, but Emo Loser, Cookie Nabber, the whole entirety of red team will be here first as Durganude forced to flash away, seeing the writing on the wall. We'll see if Dr. Fox will go for any play. Nope, just going straight to this top turret, which looks quite defenseless as almost all members of the red team are on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, Ahri is just now coming up to answer. We'll see how much damage they can do.
Yeah, it seems like 2 plates in the favor of blue team, and then a quick, easy walk away, or maybe not even needing to walk away, because what is Ahri gonna do here?
Yeah.
Got the bot lane here. Oh, as Dr. Fox PhD will swiftly fall, trying to flash away, but the ult will come out from Sage, as Lissandra now trying to E away, will likely get away. Oh, Cookie Never flashes forward in response. Lissandra's gonna flash away from that charm, once again, repeating what happened in the early game here.
Yeah. I mean, good answer from Red Side to at least pick up the kill on Nasus, but they did lose the turret.
Yeah, hard to say in those scenarios who has the greater momentum, who got more out of it, but of course, if we see wards come onto the Baron from Ritsu here, which it's likely we will. Oh, the flash W comes out from Mina the Assassin on Viego onto Nami, but with that flash in response, she's going to be able to get away clear and free.
Yeah, this Nami actually hasn't died this game for how much Viego's been prioritizing her.
Okay, team fight in the mid lane as the W will come out from Jin, and that flash on Lissandra will take Ritsu's life as Nami secures the kill. Durganude taking Sage inside of their ult, but then the slam coming up from King Yeti will take Durganude's life on Mordekaiser right back as Cookie Never trying to get away from Dr. Fox PhD will fall to the bonk. And once again, a double kill as Dr. Fox PhD is stacking on them. 441 stacks on Nasus. If you recall last week, the Nasus we watched in game 1, I believe, 444 at the end of the game. Dr. Fox PhD, 24 minutes in, nowhere near the end of the game, already there.
Yeah, this Nasus has been farming and stacking.
Ooh, okay. Mina the Assassin regretting that 1v1 with Lissandra, as it is clear that that was a solo kill. Lissandra completely able to negate all of Viego's abilities.
Yeah, this Viego's having a rough time this game, not able to get any picks or kills, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's the layers of CC, as that Lissandra is almost always ready for Viego, and that will be a Baron for Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies. All members of the team will be taking that home with them to begin their siege.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take some time. Go ahead, DRK.
Yeah, it's that experimental hex play that you called out for Mordekaiser. I mean, they've been really needing to ult people, and I guess that's what they're going for.
Yeah, I built that on myself on Mordekaiser. It is now in the recommended items, and for good reason, because it's doing so much for him in the scenario where you ult someone who has a lot of movement capabilities. You can't hit your Qs, you can't hit your Es, that's alright. You can just auto them. You'll be fine.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Mordekaiser has like magic damage on their autos, so it's good to get those extra autos off.
Right. Okay, we see, excited to see how Nasa Jungle will follow up the good gank setup the lanes have, and we've seen it as Lissandra has been acting almost like a Malzahar. Let's keep our eyes on this potential soul as the Chemtech Drake will arrive in just 5 seconds, and both, oh, well, that was too quick even for me as Mina the Assassin gets a solo kill onto Lissandra, and now
that's a good pick.
A 5v4 as Durganude able to engage onto Mina the Assassin, gets the kill there, but now Dr. Fox PhD running away from 4 members of the red team as Durganude is just on the flank completely, able to shield themselves, but will it be enough as they seem to be alone here? Only Silveranti there to support them as Dr. Fox PhD and Whitefire were forced to flash away and run away, and now it's 4 members of the red team into just 3 on blue side as they are teasing out the Drake, knowing that Dr. Fox PhD does have Smite upgraded fully. We'll see. They don't seem to be too curious about the dragon. The W coming out from Jin will get Sage down, and Dr. Vex PhDQ will almost one-shot set as now Ritsu almost falling completely to just 1 Q. Nami will go down from Emo Loser, and now it is a kiting game as, wow, Cookie Nabber able to kill Whitefire through their barrier, but not before giving up their own life. But now, with that, Lissandra is back, and Mina the Assassin, the lone warrior, coming to try to make sure the soul point does not go over to blue side. But Lissandra able to serve as a very clever guard of this Chemtech Drake, and the soul will go to Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies.
Yeah, it looks there was a lot going on in that fight, but unfortunately they just weren't able to kill the Nasus, like with Iceborne Gauntlet, with the Protoplasm Harness and the Spirit Visage. You're not getting to the Nasus, and the Nasus, like we already mentioned, has probably has like 500 stacks right now, so you're not able to kill him. So
yeah,
I will say
519, so now able to clear the jungle maybe just as fast as Viego.
Yeah, I will say one real nice thing from the fight that I'm not sure if it was caught clearly, but Set ulted, Set was ulting Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser ulted Viego to cancel it, which I thought was really cool.
Oh, I see. I did not catch that, but yeah, beautifully done by Durganoon, who's been such a force. In spite of the fact of the 1v4 moment, I almost still thought he might be able to do this. He might be able to do enough here. And he did, because obviously his team now possesses the Chemtech Soul.
Yeah, and I think it looks like he's working on that Riftmaker neck. I think, yeah, he'll, with all that health and sustain, I think he'll be in the fights for a long time and might actually be able to 1v4.
Yes, scarily so, because every member of the blue team of Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies seems like they are well equipped. They've got what they need to start these games. Meaning the Assassin, Ritsu, Cookie Nabber, and Emo Loser collapsing onto Whitefire and Silveranti. We see the wave come out, but the ult will be popped by Ari, and that will be the end of Nami, as Mina the Assassin does use all of their abilities to get out of here safely. The curtain is called by Jin, but let's see if Lissandra will be able to be there in time. Cookie Nabber throws out that Zhonya's to avoid the damage from Lissandra, as Emo Loser struggling on 10% of their HP, able to put out quite a lot of damage, as we see now the King Yeti ult brings Mordekaiser into their team. It seems like a little bit of a misplay, as now they are struggling to deal with Mordekaiser, and now it's 3 for 3 in that fight. Well played, I'll say, on the part of Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies, who seemed to be in a losing position at the beginning of the fight and have turned it around completely.
Yeah, I think really the Yunara kill on Nasus is was really clutch there for sure. Nasus probably looks like Nasus just bit off a little more than they could chew. So
yes, and really nicely kited and Zhonya's by Cookie Nabber and Emo Loser, who have, I mean, obviously I say they were in a losing position, blue side, but it was a lot of really nice plays to start out from Laz to Lulululus that put them in that position. It's just been back and forth displays of talent.
Yep. And Yunar's picked up that Quicksilver Sash, which will come in real handy for Mordekaiser, I think.
Or I think the Lissandra ult, yeah, as well. I don't think you can't sash out of Mordekaiser ult anymore. You could, but no longer.
Right, I remember they changed that.
Yeah, my boy got a buff. Okay, here we have the Baron is back on the map, and blue team takes no time at all to start securing the vision around it, as Ritsu now left in a position to hope that one of the members of her team will safely guide her towards the warding spots.
Yeah.
We see the Baron teased out and started already, as it's now almost at half HP. Take a look. Red team trying to squad up to get closer, as Lissandra is there as the lone defender, and now the Baron easily taken.
Red team does get the tower in the bot lane as compensation, but I don't know if that's enough for the Baron push later. So we'll see how much they can get, how much blue team can get for Baron.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we can take a look at the gold still, neck and neck in spite of what looks to be such a winning position from blue side here, it's still the CS gap that makes up for it, and red side is not giving up on this game, especially not as the game ender Elder Drake is coming up very soon in just a minute and 30 seconds, and that's anyone's objective to take.
Yeah, especially like you can see the CS gap, especially with the ADCs. It's like an item ahead, Jin at this point. So
yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to deal with it. In terms of the bot lane difference, because of how effective Ritsu is compared to the Soul Grievous wounds coming out from Nami, where she might not be able to apply it to everyone when it's truly necessary to do so. Okay, we see the siege coming in, but Cookie Never is on the flank as now Lissandra, Dr. Fox PhD, and Whitefire are forced to reckon with the fact that they may be in enemy territory, as Durganoon now may be the one who's being collapsed on, as the siege continues in the mid lane without minions that the turret is targeting. They're still able to break right on through to the inhibitor, forcing Lads Delululu's back on the defensive before the Elder Drake starts. See, they've pivoted the team. They forced them to rotate around, so now they have a clear and free path back to the Elder Drake. The ult, the Frozen Tomb, comes out onto King Yeti, and with that and the Elder Drake in just 10 seconds, this could be just a continuous siege from Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies, or they could take the Elder for free.
Yeah, that 1-4 push was perfect.
Okay, we see the ult come out from Mina the Assassin, who then is swiftly denied by the curtain call. Of course, we saw Sage Emo Loser's ult come out, but it's not enough damage as Lissandra is able to just put so much out onto Cookie Nabber, and Dr. Fox PhD is able to ignore the damage. Durganoon does ult Cookie Nabber, as now Ari is stuck standing still at the edge of the Mordekaiser ult. The Zanyas comes out, and Durganoon not able to finish up Cookie Nabber, but instead Lissandra will go in to get the rest of it as the first Nexus turret has fallen and the second one is on its way. This is a win for Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies in game 1 of CMSA's 4th week.
Yeah, really nice. Yeah, that push was just too much. I think as soon if Nasus has that protoplasm up, they're not dying. So
yeah, I was a little worried at the end there when we saw the Yunara ult popped, because it was a lot of damage coming out onto Nasus, but all of a sudden it's like my mind forgets that protoplasm harness is about to activate, and then it's like no damage is being taken at all. You can't do anything through it.
Exactly. I think when Nasus was dying, it was I kind of, at least like, not like a hard and fast rule, but seemed to be like when the protoplasm was on cooldown. So yeah, that item came in real clutch.
Yeah, and with that, we've got the first game of the night done and dusted. Good job and congratulations to Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies, and of course, well played by Lads Delulululus. And now we are going to be going on to our second game of the night. Hopefully, it hasn't started without us, where we'll be watching Veigar's Vixens versus Zyra's Zaddies. And we see we're here just in time. Okay.
Just in time.
We'll see if we have time to take a short break. If not, we will take it right after draft ends, but hopefully you all will stick around as we assess the situation and get ready for game 2 of tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, DRK, I know I stole you away from Pearl once for another week.
Yeah.
So now that we're watching Pearl, is it possible you were going to be on one of these teams? And I'd like to, as you think about it, as we look at drafts, imagine where would you be, and would you be picking a different support, a different ADC, whoever it might be that you were going to be? I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't think I was going to be on either of these teams, but I can definitely kind of give that input. As we go through draft. I mean, for ADC, for bot lane here, we have Frosty and Medeo versus Shades and Fi. So, in two very strong bot lanes on both sides. So, excited to see what ADC they pick. Yeah, ADCs and
Okay,
supports.
I think there might be a technical issue here as we need to do some refreshing. But yeah, I'm excited to see the matchups as you described them, DRK.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm excited to see the matchups. I think we already know what champions are going to get banned by Team 2, so at least I know two of the first bans.
Yeah, we're gonna see a
Lissandra
Twitch ban, right?
and a Lissandra ban. Yep, because we
Yeah.
also have side.
And I know there are a few. We won't see a Caitlyn ban, will we?
No, I don't. I think Shades plays Caitlyn once in a while, but Frosty doesn't really. But Shades is also known for their like Tristana and Miss Fortune, so there's higher priority ADCs for Shades for sure. So
Yeah, makes sense. As we are having a little bit of confusion, miscommunication surrounding the technical difficulties. But in the meantime, as we wait for draft, let's talk a little bit about who are the most played and most winning champs of each league. Okay, I know I gave you a look at the data here, but is there anything that immediately pops out to you as interesting here?
Yeah, I'm like looking back at the data right now on my phone. I think, I think there's some things like presence-wise, I was like a little bit surprised not. I feel like we should be seeing more Seraphine and Pearl than we currently do. That was a little bit surprising to me. There's also like, I think there's also a lot of champ diversity. There's like, out of like the most played champs, like you have 3 that are doing really well, and then the next most played champs have like subpar, like below 20%, 30% win rates. So
Right.
we're seeing a lot of champion diversity, like lots of champions being only picked once or twice across the games. I think
something that popped out immediately, speaking exactly of that, is you were just mentioning about Nami. Unfortunately, it looks like we won't be seeing Nami's win rate increase too much in the Ruby League from that 12.5%. But it's the total opposite case in Pearl, where Nami has been played, at least up until yesterday or today, 7 times and has won 70% of her games, even netting a few bans on top of that. And so, what's the deal? Nami bad in one league, but one of the most winning supports in the other is very interesting, right?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I think when I look at Pearl versus Ruby, there's like definitely some overlap in players and on the border, but I think for Pearl, ease of execution matters a lot more. A little bit, not a lot more, but at least a little bit more than in Ruby. So I guess like maybe Nami is just a little bit easier to pick up, easier to have success with in Pearl than Ruby. But again, I'm not really sure exactly why you kind of see that difference. It just might be it might also have to do with how teams play in Ruby versus Pearl. So
yeah, or whether the ADCs that are the comfort picks here are good matches for Nami or Seraphine in either league. And so we are now ready for draft for the second game of the night. We'll be watching the Pearl League, which is everyone from Iron up until that high silver and gold ranking. And immediately we see the Evelyn band come out. What's that about?
Is Cake Monster on the red team? If so,
that could be it. Yep, Cake Monster is there.
Yeah. These bans are gonna be really interesting because you have like, I'm looking at blue team and what I would ban is like, okay, Lissandra, Twitch, Alawi, Pantheon, and it's like, okay, well now I only have 3 bans. Like, which one of those am I leaving up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Where I think Psy Hero's definitely always been a target for bans. We saw the Lissandra ban come out already, but is there a second one that goes out for him specifically?
Yeah, I mean, he's really, the Zyra and the Melor is like, he's really good on those two, so he carries on those all the time. So, curious to see if they pick up the Pantheon for Medeo here with it being left open.
Yep, let's take a look as Pantheon also one of the, I know not as often anymore, but potentially a flex champion. I'm not sure if third person would play Pantheon up in the top lane, but could always be the case that we develop a new set of champions as we see Mel come out, likely for Psy Hero in the mid lane.
Yep. Yeah. Again, Zyra, Mel are like Psy Hero's backups when Lissandra is banned, which is all the time. So
yes. Yeah, part of the reason why in the data that I sent you today, where I said, here are all of the supports that have won or been picked more than 50% of the time, I had to weed out manually Zyra from that list, knowing that here she's not a support. She's like almost anything but.
Yeah. You see her like a little bit in the support, but you see her often in mid lane from our Pearl mid laners. So
yeah, and speaking of mid laners, I do think this may be Xin Zhao mid as a Mel counter developed by C9 Snoops to specifically try to get around the damage that comes from the long range champions that Psy Hero plays.
Yeah. A Samira pick from Shades is really interesting because that's, if you don't, Frosty gets really tilted playing into Samira. That's like one champion that I was picking into them. So it seems like Samira, Shades is also picking up that tactic as well. But,
yeah, some mental games. What would you value mental games at in the Pearl League? I know Comfort pick, we had this discussion last week, where Comfort is king in a lot of ways, but the tilt factor of I'm playing the champ you hate playing, is that like, is it ranked almost as highly as Comfort, or how influential is that?
I wouldn't rate it as highly as Comfort. You can pick a champion to tilt someone, but if you're not good at it, it's not going to do anything.
Right, so. Because you're not going to be able to actually do the thing that tilts them. It's not that's not the look of the champion. It's actually what they do.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I don't value it as highly. It's just also like in Pearl, like, and then same with Ruby. Everyone knows each other, so it's kind of like a fun banter thing to pick like a champion that like makes other people upset. So.
Yeah, and speaking of champions that make other people upset, we saw the Yuumi hover, but now it looks like Locke is the actual choice for C9 Snoops on the red side here. As, oops, let me make sure that I am switching over the team names, because we are not watching Lads to Lulululus and Blaine's Pirate Booty Baddies. We are instead watching Veigar's Vixens and Zyra's Zaddies, the latter of which is on the blue side, Zyra's Zaddies and Veigar's Vixens.
Yeah, with Veigar, with blue team not picking up that Pantheon in that first round of picks, it gets banned in the second round. Interesting to see. I'll have to ask you, Nick, like, has Locke been picked yet in Pearl or Ruby? And I feel like this is one of the first.
It has, and it's been scary. Locke is a very scary champion, especially on someone like C9 Snoops or like Pest, who we saw play it in the Ruby League, who, like, they're aggressive players. They're willing to take the risk to start stacking up the ultimate charges, the souls that they can receive. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous to deal with. Yeah,
okay. So we'll see how Snoops performs on it today then. So rounding out the bans, we got Yorick and Heimerdinger and Aurelion Sol. Heimerdinger and Aurelion Sol, I'm not sure, again, which player that's towards, but they must, obviously these teams know a little bit more than I do, so.
Yeah, maybe an understanding that it could be a top lane control mage situation that's coming out from the red side. Uh-oh. Okay, I was scared that we were going to have a reset situation there with that 0 ticking down, but instead, looks like we're going to see the top lane and the real support pick coming out from Zyra's Zaddies pretty soon.
Yeah. The Morg pick is nice, at least to like protect Samira. It's not going to be the most synergistic one, but it's a fine pick, especially with how much, blue team was going to want to pick Engage here, so.
100%. And we see it come out as, oh, very interesting. We have the Zyra hover coming out from Medeo. So now it puts my thoughts into to a loop of, is it Mel mid or is it Mel support that we're actually seeing return to CMSA's Rift?
Yeah, I don't think we'll have an answer until we get into the loading screen. I think either of these players can easily flex between the two.
Right.
I'm guessing I'm leaning a little bit towards Mel support, just knowing how like Medeo and Saihiro play, but not again, no guarantees there. So
yeah, probably just as synergistic with each other, or with Kaisa as the other. They're both going to provide that one level of CC that'll apply Kaisa's passive, but they'll also be able to do the damage that Kaisa needs in order to do percentage health missing damage with that final shot of her passive. So DRK, where do you fall on this? Or you said it first last time. I'll put my cards on the table this time, and I think blue side has a little bit of an advantage here, just because they actually have Ghost Orzhov and Sejuani working together potentially. The Nunu from Ghost Orzhov has been very scary and gank heavy when we've seen it in the past, and it's the greatest snowball ever. So I've got to stick with Nunu.
Yeah, I think definitely, like, I'm looking at both teams and I'm thinking, like, yeah, both, they seem pretty equally matched. Like you said, you've got more of that front line, more of that CZ potential from blue side, like you mentioned, and that might just be the difference maker. I think from red team, it's going to really be, I think, on how can, like, Locke and Xinjiao get onto the back line and how and, like, are they able to pick people off easily? So. And it's also like, is Samira going to be able to stack her passive up and get some good ults off or not, right? Like those are all the sorts of things you're going to be watching. But with like a lot of CC, it's going to be hard for Samira to kind of do so once the Black Shield wears off from Morgana.
Right. And with just 2 minutes before we start the second game of the night, let's break for just 2 minutes and we will be back at the start of the first Pearl game of the night, the second game we're watching, and what's sure to be an exciting one very soon. Please stick around and stay tuned.
See you guys soon.
Welcome, everyone, to week 3 of CMSA. Using their healing abilities to get a double kill as they reach 5-0 in this game. And there might be a little fight here as Corpsebride has laid down their E as a ward. And blue team leaving the Herald, backing off to reset it.
Yeah, but it's...
Oh! Mina the Assassin comes in with the E onto Corpsebride. Corpsebride forced to barrier, but the Lux ult hijack comes out, and Past able to get their ult off onto Jules, gets the kill. But now the real Lux ult comes out, and Mina the Assassin is at 10% HP, dies, and the root underneath their turret, MTP and Corpsebride able to put out enough damage to kill both Silas and Nasus.
Yeah. And red team is good setup for Soul pretty well. It's gonna be
Okay, a beautiful hook from Shark Attack onto Who Ate My Pop-Tarts lets Whitefire take that kill, but there are 3 members of the red team here. The Xayah ult comes out to dodge that Syndra ult, but Silas will still be looking to get on top of Whitefire, does not able to, and instead both Doofies and Mina the Assassin will fall as the real Nocturne ult comes in and MTP's TP comes in to make this 5 members of the blue team who have entered the mid lane, and Pest is the only member of the red team left, but that Lux QR and auto will take Pest's entire HP bar. That could have been the start of another fight, but now it's a 4-on-4 in the mid lane. Soon to be 5 as Jules seems to be pacing. The stage is set as Silas uses their own public execution onto Corpsebride, and the stage has been set by Jin. Oh, there we go. Now Thresh dying as well as Pest is able to collect kills. Oh, the root onto Whitefire leads to their death as Mina the Assassin, Who Ate My Pop-Tarts, and the rest of red team is ready to kill MTP as well. It's a 4 for none.
Yeah, red team setting up vision along the upper river around Baron.
Uh-oh. Okay, here we have the Nocturnal comes out onto Doofy's as Shark Attack is in danger, gets killed by Pest's ultimate. Doofy's will fall to Jules, but in the meantime, Whitefire is being attacked by Mina the Assassin and Star, but Huiman Pop-Tart's able to get onto Jules with that fourth shot. Will it happen? Yes, Jules will fall, but Corpse Bride will fall in the backline as well as Mina the Assassin and the Star have been able to kill so many of the members of the blue team. Only MTP remains. And now with a wave coming in and 30 seconds separating the blue side from having 3 of their members back on. All right, welcome back everyone. And we are starting right off with a pause.
Yeah, looks like Shades is having some issues. We'll see if we can get them back in.
Yeah, I know they were having a little bit of, oh, can we restart and ban Samira? Suggests third person of Zyra Zaddy's. What is really great is, you know, we can get the full view of the chat.
Yeah. We can get the full view from both sides. I mean, they're also all chatting, so.
Yes, I don't believe we can get team chat.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Not that anyone, I think, would team chat while just in case there's anyone watching who isn't familiar with CMSA, we are constantly in Discord during these games, and this is a hyper-coordinated environment where surely all of the plays that we make are intentional, right, DRK?
Generally so. I think sometimes I think sometimes there's happy gaming going on, but for the most part, it's coordinated.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see the team comps that each of these teams has put together where, sure, Samira doesn't have all of the CC in the world to go off of, but this is an assassin comp with John on the pick potential here. And then on the blue side, we've got just straight up beef in the top side of the map with Sejuani and Nunu able to put out so much sustain during their fights that while John is going to be able to do health percentage damage to either of them, if Sejuani or Nunu make it to any other lane, it's going to be lockdown central, similar to what we saw with the Lissandra gaming last game.
Exactly, yeah. If they can lock down again, like Xin Zhao and Locke, then I think I think that's what I'm gonna be really watching for, is like the linchpin for the game is can Snoops and can Locke and Xin Zhao get picks, or are they gonna be shut down by Sejuani and Nunu? So
yeah. And it looks like we are just about ready to restart the game, but I think we might have caught up to our gamers on the other end, and so we are getting the special of waiting just a little bit. Oh, but here we are. We're now ready to bring you the second game of the night as we watch Zyra Zaddy's face off against Vygar's Victims in the Pearl League.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm excited. I love seeing Zyra support because it is one of the, I mean, before we had mage bot, we had mage support. And got a little bit of a delay there. Oops, no, we're back. Well, Morgana may be the anti-mage. She might not have enough black shield to deal with all of the damage coming out from Medeo, which it starts with a root, as that Five Alicia unfortunately not able to land the dark binding back onto Zyra.
Yeah, and Kaisa just was a little bit out of range and couldn't follow up, but at least a nice poke early from Zyra.
Yeah, and we're seeing it all around the map as the skirmishes begin. All right, I'm excited because looking through the highlights of last week, I saw, oh, those are the Frosty Penguins plays I know. So I'm excited to see another, now that I have that in my mind, what type of gamer Frosty is here. Ooh, we see Snoop's able to get a sizable HP lead over their lane opponent there.
Yeah, good HP lead, and like, it looks like it's gonna like translate into a CS lead as well.
Okay, the Ignite comes out from Fibleisha onto Frosty as the Exhaust is traded back onto Shades, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty even trade there in the bot lane.
Yeah, and just trade the Summoners. I think this bot lane's going to be volatile. We'll see, like, if they go for more kills. Sorry, go for more skirmishes.
Yeah. And with getting level 2 first, Zyrazadi's able to get quite a lot of damage. Oh, but it's traded seemingly right back. Beautiful black shields. Okay, and we see the first gank of Ghost Orzhov is onto C9 Snoops, who pretty deftly evades it, instead making Ghost Orzhov take a tower shot.
Yeah, good dash away. No need to use a flash there, which is nice.
Yeah, Locke, the mobility on that champion is very scary, especially when resets come into play. Okay, Medeo, so oppressive on this Zyra, able to constantly have Fibleisha and Shades pushed in. As we see here, Cake Monster going for the red buff of Ghost Orzhov here, as Ghost Orzhov forced off, as Cake Monster already has 2 buffs, but Ghost Orzhov may be staying, looking for it back. Oh, and we see Cake Monster able to take the buff, and now Ghost Orzhov forced away, but Medeo and Psyhero are here on the return, as Frosty Penguins is here as well. Psyhero instead reaping the benefits and taking both of those buffs back to the mid lane.
Yeah, a little bit early on the smite from Ghost Orzhov means they don't get the red buff and the health, but good collapse from the rest of blue team too.
Ooh, we see the Ignite come out from C9 Snoops looking for them to say, hey, those were my jungler's buffs, I want them back.
Yeah. Yeah, Snoops has done a good job at pressuring this Mel. Like, you can see a decent CS lead already building up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the trouble of being a mid laner who's the first one to go help your jungler. You may get the first blood, you may get the kill, at least for your team, first blood, but it's not going to help you in terms of pushing. Here we see Ghost Orzhov coming back in for another gank as Shades flashes away. Fibleisha flashes away as well, but Shades will be rooted twice now over as Frosty Penguins claims the kill that Ghost Orzhov has served up on this plate for him. Cake Monster waiting in the Dragon Pit, knowing someone is coming by.
Yeah, and Black Shield was on cooldown, and that spelled the end of Samira pretty much there.
Yeah, and Fibleisha flashing there, I can't say I blame too harshly, as I wouldn't want to be caught by the Nunu Snowball with my ADC, so better maybe that they get caught alone.
Yeah. But, you know, nice kill for Frosty on Kaisa. Gets that early pickaxe, some bows. Sorry, daggers now. But...
Yeah. And so, with that, we see it's back to normal as Psyhero's buffs are soon to run out, but it doesn't seem like they've been able to use them to push out their wave as C9 Snoops hits level 6 first and continues to push in massively against Mel.
Yeah, he's been able, Locke has been able to like dash away from Mel's spells really effectively.
Okay, we see Fibleisha going behind Frosty Penguins and Medeo, but seemingly regretting it as now the Ignite has come out and Fibleisha is walking away with just half of their HP.
Yeah. Interesting positioning for the Morgana, but isn't really punished besides the Ignite.
Yes. I mean, of course, I'm thinking about dives in a scenario like this where look at how low each side is. Now Fibleisha at just a quarter of their HP. It's really scary as the Zyra plants are going to take even more of that. Oh, but here we have Cake Monster going for a gank onto third person, not knowing that Ghost Orzhov is there with the greatest snowball ever right behind. And now it's going to be a 2v2 as the ult comes out from third person and the snowball hits. Cake Monster receiving the Shen ult from John, but that shield is all done and dusted as John unleashes the W to block auto attacks and takes the kill onto third person. Now Ghost Orzhov forced to run away. John will get the second of the 2 kills as Cake Monster and John successfully getting that gank and avoiding the detriment of what could have been a deadly counter gank.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. They weren't able to interrupt the Shen ult. Shen W goes down right in the middle of 2 bruisers, so really good layering there.
Yeah, I think third person, the ults came too close in succession to Ghost Orzhov's greatest snowball ever. Whereas the layering could have been a bit better. I'm not sure that it would have been able to stop the massive shield and taunt and W from John. Here we have C9 Snoops able to get down into the bot lane, and now Medeo and Frosty Penguins are in such a bad position as Frosty Penguins forces out the barrier. And C9 Snoops looking for something to salvage from here as Medeo is going to fall in Frosty's place. But the greatest snowball ever is here, and Psy Hero has made it down. Fibalicia landing a beautiful Dark Binding in order to save C9 Snoops from the wrath of Ghost Orzhov.
Yeah.
Oh, C9 Snoops looking for more onto Psy Hero as now Ghost Orzhov is coming back in. The ult almost comes out from Psy Hero, but it is not enough as they will fall. And now C9 Snoops now looking for Ghost Orzhov as well. See, this is the level of aggression that I know that C9 Snoops was ready to pull out in this game to try to secure an advantage for their team.
Yeah. Good roams, like just showing the power of like Lock and their skills on Lock there. So that like assassination potential from Lock is really strong, and now they've got some good kills and some money to continue to make that happen.
Yeah, to push it forward. And so we see wards coming out on the epic monsters as we've got Cake Monster headed back up top to get some priority. Looks like he's interested in the grubs, but third person sees them coming along, cues away. Cake Monster going in, forces out the flash from both John and third person as the dragon and the grubs are both up at the same time. But Medeo is going to be the first support to hop up here, knowing there's something going on. The greatest snowball ever comes towards the grub pit. His third person is not too far behind, and Cake Monster is going to take one of the grubs, but then ult to try to get just far away enough, but instead is going to fall, and it looks like Ghost Orzhov is going to be able to take the two remaining grubs.
Yeah. Good roaming up from the Zyra made it up to the... It looks like Zyra made it to grubs before Morgana, and they were able to like make use of the numbers advantage.
Yes, absolutely. All right. It seems to be back to normal on the map as, C9 Snoops taking advantage of Psy Hero using their abilities there to get a little bit of extra damage. And it looks like it's quarter of HP to quarter of HP as Locke is now potentially in danger in the mid lane alone while Psy Hero is backing back to base.
Yeah. I think Melia maybe mispredicted on like when Locke was going to dash back. If one of those other abilities hit, I think it would have been potentially a kill onto Locke.
Ooh. Danger zone there for third person as John is able to get almost all of their percentage health damage auto attacks onto Sejuani.
Yep, and looks like Shen's going for the Heartsteel first. I think with how much fighting we've had in the top lane, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, to start stacking now would be a big boon for John, as that HP is going to start doing a lot of damage with Grasp. Ooh, Frosty gets hit by the Dark Binding from Fibalicia, and Medeo strongly and confidently stepping up to act as a deterrent.
Yep. I will say, in the bot lane, we've got a very sizable lead from Kai'Sa over Samira. That's almost 30, that's almost 30 CS right there.
Yeah. Oh, we see Fibalicia flashing in with their ult and landing a beautiful root onto Medeo. The Ignite comes out, but it is not enough to end Medeo's life as Fibalicia receives the ult from John. The shield comes out. Frosty Penguins does get the first kill there, but then returned as John gets the kill onto Frosty Penguins. And Medeo and Ghost Orzhov are left headed back to their turret as now... Oh, we see John TPing back up top, and Ghost Orzhov is feeling strong enough to go try to get the ward a little bit of protection.
Yeah, really good ult from Shen to protect the Kai'Sa or Morgana. I forget which one. Sorry, the Samira and Morgana there, but yeah, prevents a second kill from going out to blue side.
And still no takers of the dragon there, as now Cake Monster is here to protect Locke's lane as C9 Snoops has roamed up to the top lane. forcing third person to run towards the mid lane for protection.
Yeah. Mel has now at least evened up the CS gap in mid lane, so that's good to see. Although there is a sizable gap from the jungle. So.
Okay, quite the confusing fight here as C9 Snoops dives in, gets ulted by third person, but Shades, Cake Monster, and Fibelisha are here to protect Snoops. Third person just on the wrong side of history, it seems, as their HP is going to protect them from seeing the gray screen. And now it's 4-on-4 in the mid lane, seeming to fight over priority over this Drake, as really what started as Ghost Orzhov evading Shades and Fibelisha in the bottom side of the river turned into a little bit of a skirmish that didn't blow many sums, but seems to have set everyone on a path away from the dragon, as Cake Monster is now going in on Frosty Penguins, and it looks like will get the kill here, but Medeo looking to exhaust and get a kill back onto Cake Monster will not be able to, as the Black Shield is able to save. But in the mid lane, we didn't see Psy Hero get a solo kill onto C9 Snoops. Yeah, but perhaps with a little help from Ghost Orzhov.
Yeah, I think it seemed like a solo kill, but I wasn't 100% sure. Kaisa stays a little bit too long trying to get plates in the bot lane and gets punished for it by Xin Chao.
Ooh, okay, Shades very aggressively going on to Ghost Orzhov, and Fibelisha able with these chains of binding to get Medeo rooted in place, but Shades is just not in a position to fight.
Yeah. So, yeah, Morgana has those tier 2 boots. Zara does not.
And there is Medeo sent back to the gray screen as Shades is able to ult, but it is not enough as Frosty Penguins throwing out so much damage. I mean, if Frosty had any less health than full, we would have seen something totally separate there, as now Cake Monster looking for some vengeance onto Ghost Orzhov. The ult will come out from Ghost Orzhov, but Fibelisha unfortunately walking just back into it to trade their life for Ghost Orzhov's as well.
Yeah, the indicator might have just been a little bit confusing for the Morgana, but it looked like they were just on the edge, and I wouldn't know if I was in or out of it either.
Right, and we're seeing the dragon finally be started by Cake Monster here, as it is at 14 minutes, neck and neck once again, 23k to about 23k in gold, as we just saw again Psy Hero solo kill onto C9 Snoops. Well, we didn't see it, we were watching the dragon, but
yeah, I think like
beautiful root from Fibelisha. Wow. Okay, this is a longer fight, and everyone is super engaged into it. Cake Monster going in on Ghost Orzhov. Ghost Orzhov is here to protect Psy Hero, but the ult coming out from Shades is going to be able to secure the kill onto both Ghost Orzhov and onto Psy Hero, as the John ult comes out on Shades, as Frosty Penguins is not going to be able to finish it off. Shades manages to get it as third person stops John's ult using their own, but still Shades is able to come out on top with 3 kills out of that engagement.
Yeah, I mean, since Sejuani can't make it down to the fight, at least stopping the John ult helped, but unfortunately that shield was just too much for Kaisa to break through.
Right.
It'd be interesting to see if they build a Serpent's Fang this game to like deal with the Shen ult.
Yeah, I would venture that Serpent's Fang is probably one of the least built items in all of CMSA, in all of League of Legends in general. Oh, we see third person throwing out that ignite, but John's going to be able to use their spirit passive well enough to avoid certain death. But here, third person may not know. C9 Snoops is waiting in the wings. The ult comes out from Locke, but it will not connect as third person flashes forward, trying to get onto John, and John is going to be able to grasp proc, take that Sejuani's last HP.
Yep.
Okay, now it's 3 on blue in the bot lane, as, I'm sorry, DRK, there's constant fighting. The Q from Fibelisha is able to disengage, and we would think that's the end of it, but there we go.
These teams are really going for like not even a kill per minute, 2 kills per minute. With how much they're scrapping. It's really hard to tell who are the main victors here, but I mean, I guess we can go based on shutdowns. It looks like Shen and Samira are really like racking up the kills.
Absolutely, as they seem to take quite the advantage in their respective lanes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Samira making up for that CS deficit with like, I mean, the 5 kills does make up for it. but, you know, Kai'Sa's not that far behind on items.
Okay, we see Medeo going for a kill onto Shades, forced to flash away from Fibalicia, but Frosty Penguins will go in with their ults onto Shades to take it through the barrier as Gostorsov looking to continue, but Cake Monster's going to drop the Rift Herald in the mid lane, forcing Psy Hero. Oop. Still no turret as Kai'Sa's able to take the turret in the bot lane, but the greatest snowball ever is coming onto Snoops, and the lockdown is just so much as Psy Hero gets another kill.
Yeah, that Kai'Sa dive onto Samira into the turret was really confident, but really important to get that shutdown. I think it'll really cement Kai'Sa's lead over Samira now.
Yeah, and we've got 4 members of the blue team coming up top, still moving forward, trying to make sure Cake Monster does not get to any of their jungle, but now it's going to be 4-on-4 as Fibalicia and Shades are on their way. John looking to tease them into the lane a little bit more. Cake Monster kiting away as Medeo is able to keep Fibalicia away, but the ults are popped, and Cake Monster is looking for blood as Gostorsov is trying to deflect away for third person to get them a little bit of space. But here's Shades looking to just CS and push this wave away from the turret.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, yeah, Kai'Sa's able to get the mid lane turret. Although I don't know if I'd want to go for a one.
Wow, Frosty able to just barrier and live through C9 Snoop's burst. I would agree with you. Not sure if I wanted the 1v1 there, but Frosty definitely proved us wrong, at least in our thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. Like, really confident plays out of the Kai'Sa for them.
Uh-oh, but she's shopping, and that shopping will take her to the gray screen where she can purchase now, at least, quicker than if she had backed, as Cake Monster is able to go right up to that turret and take Kai'Sa's last bit of HP.
Yeah. A small shutdown does go over to Cake Monster. Not the best thing, but it's what can you do? Yeah.
Girlies be shopping sometimes. I know it because I do it. Fibalicia, ooh, launching that ult, but third person's Q will be able to get them safely away as the Dark Binding hits, and now Shades is going for a re-engage, Eing in, but third person just looking to auto, but oh, that Shen shield is beautiful and big as Shades survives.
Yeah, if I wouldn't be surprised if we see 5 Serpent Fangs from blue team now. That Shen ult has been really good. John's been using that Shen ult really good defensively. Multiple times, denying multiple kills.
Okay, we see Gostorsov coming in onto C9 Snoops as C9 Snoops activates that lock W to get the extra movement speed to get away. Okay, and with the Cloud Drake, the second Drake to potentially be taken this game, 4 members of the red team approach as the bot lane, jungler, and mid lane are here, but Cake Monster perhaps looking for an advantage here. Kai'Sa able to get a kill onto Morgana there as Fibalicia just a little bit out of position. And now Cake Monster and Snoops looking for a way in.
I feel like Morgana just disappeared. I didn't even notice Kai'Sa and Morgana fighting up on the top.
Yeah. Okay, Gostorsov looking for the end of this, able to Q Smite, and now C9 Snoops looking for a little bit of extra damage, but it seems like blue team has given up all advantages in this fight, now taking a 3-for-1 as Vagar's Vixens wins the fight but loses the Cloud Drake.
And meanwhile, Mel was not in that fight at all. So it was a 4v5, so...
Yeah, whereas Psy Hero's taken now more than half of the top tier 2, and in return, Cake Monster knocks down the last bit of HP on that mid turret.
Yeah. Constantly, these two teams are like really going neck and neck, constantly answering each other on opposite sides of the map. And the red team does have a little bit of a gold lead, but it's barely 1,000, so...
Hey, Psy Hero trying to disengage from Cake Monster will get slowed by that W and will get taunted by John as Fibalicia takes the last bit of the kill. And successful collapse from red side as they eke out just a little bit of a gold lead in this game.
Yeah.
But now around the Baron, it is vision gaining time as now 3 members of Zyra Zaddies are looking for a pick here.
Mm-hmm. Kai'Sa is in bot lane, Kai'Sa is not here, but Samira isn't here either.
Okay, here we go. With that, Ghost Orzhov will take the first Baron empowered scuttle and begin to clear these wards, hoping to protect third person from what looks to be a collapse again as Cake Monster forces out the flash, and Fibelisha able to get a little bit of space, but Cake Monster is not able to secure the kill onto third person.
Meanwhile, it looks like the ADCs are scrapping in the bot lane a little bit.
Yeah, Shades lost a little bit of HP to Frosty Penguins, and let's see, looks like Fibelisha and Cake Monster are just trying to make sure no wards get placed here. Ooh, C9 Snoops narrowly avoiding a full combo from Psy Hero. Launches the ult, but will they be able to follow up as Ghost Orzhov has come right on in? And what we didn't see is that John 1v1's third person up in the top lane.
Yeah.
See Ghost Orzhov, the greatest snowball ever, coming in onto C9 Snoops. C9 Snoops, no dash away, and now using it to try to get away as Fibelisha ults. Medeo sends an ult of their own, and Sire is going to be the first to fall there, as Shades is now here with the Shen ult on them, but the ult coming off from Nunu is going to be able to shut them down before John is able to arrive.
Yeah. And Kai'Sa's able to arrive in the fight with their ult, and yeah, as soon as Kai'Sa is there, the 3-item Kai'Sa, she does a lot of damage now.
Whew. Oh, and Fibelisha has disappeared before Frosty can even... Oh, Frosty! Oh, sorry. I got a little concerned there because they might not have realized they were in the turret range.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just too funny. I shouldn't laugh.
But no, they just needed to step another couple pixels north and they would have been fine. But...
yeah. I can just imagine, though, the mentality of, like, I'm good, and then it's like, wait, why am I in turret range?
Yeah.
What a shame. It was well played.
It was really well played. I mean, I get it. These teams are constantly fighting, so sometimes those little things kind of, you miss those very easily with everything happening around you.
Right. And with that, it's about 4 minutes past the Baron's arrival on the map, and still no teasing or taking of the big purple dragon, as Fibelisha's looking for an angle of vision. Drops that control ward, and that will secure. At least red side will know if something's happening here. Medeo and Psy Hero almost having a kill bush here as the Mel W comes out to reflect the Dark Binding, but Medeo is going to fall to Cake Monster so fast as Zyra's HP is not enough to take a few Xin autos. And now third person Frosty Penguins are trying to clean up the mess. The ult comes out from Psy Hero, but the Zanyas from Fibelisha gets them out. Cake Monster flashing forward, but now third person is on the other side of red side here, and John and Shades and C9 Snoops are able to get onto third person and knock them down completely, as Psy Hero is going to fall to Cake Monster on this side. Ghost Orzhov in a very dangerous position as now all 5 members of the red team are able to collapse, but Frosty Penguins, one by one, gets the full empowered Q onto C9 Snoops to take that kill, and now maybe the only hope that Zyra Zaddies has to stop this Baron from being taken by Cake Monster, but will they be brave enough with Medeo as their sole companion and compatriot to stop the Baron from being taken?
No, it looks like they're going for the mid tier 2 or for the dragon. There's pings on that as well. That Zanya's from Morgana was really clutch. I think it would have been a lot different if Morgana didn't survive there.
Yeah, absolutely. If that ult from Psy Hero had come out and then Psy Hero was able to get a little bit of space away from the team, it would have been very different. Oh, we see the dragon being started just a little late by Frosty Penguins as John is here, but Medeo is going to be able to get them away, and third person is going to keep Cake Monster away so that Frosty can finish up the Drake. Beautifully done on this deterrence from the blue side, but third person may be giving up their life for it in the process, and on this side, Frosty is able to get to John to get not only the Drake, but a kill on top of it.
Yeah, really important shutdown going over to Kai'Sa there.
Okay, we see Frosty potentially shopping again. Sorry to call it out, but we see Fibelisha able to stop their pack and very narrowly evade a dangerous situation there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's, I think, really important that Kai'Sa gets the gold. It's like Kai'Sa the hyper carry. She's on 4 items. Samira's only on 2.5. This is with this. You don't want to be in this position as Samira for sure. I've been in this position as Samira. It's not fun. So,
yeah, not totally. Not the worst position where I wouldn't say Shades is completely out of it yet. I know you're not saying that either, but
yeah,
Shades may need to play it that much more safely in order to... Oh, we see C9 Snoops and Five Alicia almost setting up a kill brush into Psy Hero. The W is gone, and C9 Snoops is able to collect their soul using that lock ultimate. The Purgatory, as Psy Hero is contributing to Snoops' gain in power here. Okay, Cake Monster
collapsing onto Sejuani here.
Right, and that'll be it, as the Titanic Hydra from both Shen and Xin Zhao just does so much damage. Both of these, I mean, they're both acting like bruisers. One of them is a tank, but will do damage like a bruiser does.
Yeah. I feel like we've seen the Shen Xin Zhao kill on Sejuani multiple times this game already. It's not new.
Whew. Okay, we see the greatest snowball ever connect to Five Alicia, as this is looking dangerous for the red team. The ult comes out from Five Alicia, but will only stun Ghost Orzhov as Frosty takes the kill. And now Shades and Snoops are forced to back, as Cake Monster and John are going to try to reset to stop the onslaught. They have Baron, but Frosty and Medeo are still able to siege somehow without it. And Medeo, in a dangerous spot, forced to flash out, as Cake Monster is going to be able to get onto them just a little bit. Frosty narrowly avoiding that Xin Zhao W. The ult comes out from Medeo, but it will not be enough to reverse the rights of fate here, as now it's 4 members of the red team into 3, soon to be 4, with the snowball potentially coming in from Ghost Orzhov. Okay. Looks like it was a false alarm. As, you know, there are no objectives on the map or coming up within the next minute. So each team needs to value, where do we pick this fight, and do we have the vision to do so? As if we take a look at the different types of vision around the map, this is blue side vision. They've got pretty good understanding, at least of the corridors that they could be following in, as opposed to red, focused largely on the bot side of the map, which may be important for the future, but not at the moment.
Yeah, Dragon's not for another minute and a half, so bot side vision will become more important then, but not for now.
And we see just clearing of waves as they both await the next objective, almost like a quest marker in an RPG. We're seeing, oh, heck, can we do a side mission here, as Cake Monster gets onto Ghost Orzhov, but Medeo is there to root Cake Monster in response, and Frosty Penguins and the rest of blue team, all 5 members, are here, as John decides not to back, instead opting to potentially wait to use their ult. We'll see if it's coming in tow, as the ult will come out from Cake Monster and Five Alicia to try to slow Ghost Orzhov down, and that will be almost the end of Ghost Orzhov's life, as third person able to get through onto Shades, and Shades will receive the ult instead of their ally Five Alicia, as it's 2 people down. Ghost Orzhov and third person will fall in response. And now, with just 40 seconds until the Ocean Dragon comes onto the map, Frosty Penguins, Medeo, and Psy Hero are looking to see what they might be able to do to push red side out of this side of the map to get some time back for Ghost Orzhov and third person to revive.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's going to be really tough for blue side without their frontliners, with Shen, and Shen's still up especially, so... but we still have, like...
Ooh, okay. Without the sword next to him, John will fall almost instantly to Psy Hero and Frosty Penguin's damage. Sorry, DRK, you could go on.
No, I mean, I thought they couldn't get through the Shen, but, I mean, this Kai'Sa has a lot of % health damage, so they're able to cut through. It also looks like the Shen has a lot of health, but it doesn't actually have a lot of resistances, so...
Okay, Cake Monster forced out of that bush, as now Ghost Orzhov is here, ready for Five Alicia seemingly to come over that wall, as the ult will land onto Ghost Orzhov, and Shades will take the kill, as now Frosty Penguins has turned, trying to get onto C9 Snoops, and succeeds, is then able to kill Cake Monster. Shades is able to get a double kill back onto them, but it will not be enough, as Medeo secures the ace. It's a 3 for 5 in favor of Zyra Zaddies, as they will now take Soul Point.
Yeah. I mean, and if you look at the gold lead, you wouldn't expect blue side to win that fight, but they think they were able to, and they, I mean, they get the dragon. They're on 3 dragons to 1, which is gonna make that next dragon in 5 minutes that much more important for red side.
Yeah, it's got to be the concentrated nature of the gold on blue side, where look at how many completed items Frosty has on Kaisa. Has everything they need in order to do damage, and if they can shut down some of the gold possessors on Vigar's Vixens before they can do damage, like we saw happen to C9 Snoops, I mean, it's a done deal there.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, well, what I want to see is blue side really protect Kaisa and even Mal too. Mal's also putting a lot of damage out, so if they can protect their 2 carries, I think, and like, you know, have them kill a few of the other carries before it's too late, I think then they'll be able to get some more wins.
Yeah, and similarly, if John was just not in that unfortunate position to be picked out, it may have looked very different, where blue side is catching a break here, almost catching back up, especially if they can secure an Ocean Soul.
Yeah, that Ocean Soul will, I think, definitely make up for that gold difference. Even.
Yeah, we see really, Frosty doing a great job clearing mid.
Yeah.
Okay, Cake Monster and Fibelicia stuck between almost a rock and a hard place, but Cake Monster going very aggressive onto Frosty, seemingly splitting up the Zyra Zaddies.
Yeah. Shen needs to start building some more resists, I think. They're at this point in the game. That's what I want to see next.
Yeah, and I'll say no Serpent's Fang built just yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Kaisa not going.
Seeing Ghost Orsov on their blue, this may be the fight that turns it, as Cake Monster's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Even though it's his own jungle, third person is going to be able to get on top of him. Cake Monster tries to flash away, ults instead, but will get hit by that greatest snowball ever, as now it is continuing. Frosty Penguins ulting in to get the kill onto Cake Monster. The Baron is up, but will they be going for it? But Medeo gets rooted by that Dark Binding, and C9 Snoops will be able to collect their soul using that Purgatory. And now John, the next one, potentially rooted in place as Frosty, able to do so much damage, but the taunt and the W and Q from Morgana will be able to get so much damage. We see Shade's Barrier, seemingly a misclick there, as Fibelicia is able to secure the stun onto third person. That leads to what should have been a total loss for red side, ending up being a only giving up 2 and getting 3 kills in the process.
Yeah. I guess they did also lose the turret bot lane, but that's a little bit of a compensation for blue side, but yeah. Very, like, these fights have been very back and forth.
Yeah. And with that, still not as much priority as I would like on the Baron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like if I'm blue side, I wouldn't probably prioritize Baron at this point. I'd just go, okay, Dragons in a minute 30, let's just play for that at this point, given how the fights are going.
Yeah, and potentially Soul on the map in just a minute. So, yep. Oh, we do see the Baron being started by the red side, and I mean, of course, they know Frosty is down here, so not able to ult in as Baron is now at half HP. And from Blue's perspective, no clue that the Baron is being taken. Of course, we know.
Kaisa's still in the bot lane, and I think this is not going to be good for Kaisa if she doesn't get away soon enough.
Okay. Yeah, she does end. Potentially a kill lane being set up by Medeo and Ghost Orzhov here. But we'll see if it just gets pushed right out into them.
Yeah. I would be very careful fighting into a team with Baron, but...
Yeah, John seems to be a pariah among the blue team as he's walking through and everyone is just walking exactly away from him. No one can stand up to the might of Shen in this moment, as Shade's going deep into the Dragon Pit, looking to secure and make sure there's no vision at all from the blue side. And there is very little in the pit. John able to get that blast plant out, as now Five Alicia looking to get a little bit of vision on where blue side could be coming. The dragon is started. The ult comes out from Five Alicia and the Zanya's. Psy Hero is going to take that kill as Medeo launches their ult. Cake Monster struggling, trying to get the dragon low enough to smite, but it will go over to Cake Monster as red side wins the fight overall.
Yeah.
Killing Medeo Medeo in the process and securing what could have been Soul for Zyra. C9 Snoop's just escaping from third person and going back in for the kill. Brave is all I can think as C9 Snoop's risks their life to get the biscuit there.
Isa is now at full item, so she will not be getting any stronger. So.
No. And we'll see how Frosty is able to deal with this, as Shades, on the other hand, still needs two full items to get to the point that Frosty's at. And see, will Frosty be able to just go for assassination plays as Kaisa and not be collapsed upon as Cake Monster is looking to do now? See if Psy Hero is able to protect them as Cake Monster ease in onto Frosty and will be putting a lot of damage out onto them. And in response, C9 Snoops gets the kill onto Kaisa, but Shades was going to go down in the process as Frosty and Psy Hero fall. With Baron minions up, red side is looking in a great position to siege.
For sure. And it's like, without their two main wave clear on blue side, it's going to be a tough push to stop.
Yeah, even with that, look at how many cannon minions John has collected up in the top lane, in addition to the mid lane. Oh, but the Baron buff has just run out, and we'll see if they're able to push down either of these turrets. John going for that inhibitor turret top takes it, and third person, unfortunately, not able to do much about it.
Yep. Mid lane and our inhibitor turret still up at least, so.
All right, with that, we know it's just about the same timing, 2.5 minutes about for each of the epic objectives. What could be Soul Point for Veigar's Vixens or Soul for Zyra, as well as the third Baron of the game.
Knight's Vow pickup from Shen, that's really nice. I think if it's going to be on Zinzhou, Locke, or Samir, that'll be really nice.
Absolutely. And we saw briefly the Haunting guys be picked up by John. I'm not sure if you saw that. It seemed like he wanted to build Liandry's or Riftmaker, but thought better not.
Yeah. The Liandry's pickup from Sejuani is interesting. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, me neither. But, you know, who am I to question, as third person is able to put out a lot of damage onto C9 Snoops, where we saw in that top fight that maybe it is the Liandry's difference. Cake Monster here going for another collapse in the mid lane, does get hit by that Frosty Penguin's W, flashes and ease in onto Psy Hero, but it is not enough as Zyra is there with some of the disengage. The Black Shield comes out, but still, third person going crazy in on Five Alicia. Five Alicia forced to flash away, not able to get the last bit of the stun out. Zanya's the third person is going to fall, but Five Alicia is also going to fall to Frosty Penguins, and now back in the main side of the fight. Psy Hero looking to get away from Cake Monster is able to flash away, and not flash away, but just get away, and Cake Monster will fall, and now it's 3-on-3 blue to red as Medeo quickly gets a double kill. And here now, C9 Snoops able to get out of that fight. It is just Medeo left on the blue side as John seems to just feel comfortable running through blue side jungle to try to get this inhibitor.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they don't... I mean, they could easily push for the end, possibly. I mean, I guess Zyra has pretty good wave clear to stop it, but you'd have to force Zyra to answer that.
Right. Where there is just 10 seconds until third person comes back onto the map. So John, already level 20. It is 41 minutes into this game.
Yeah.
Soon enough, the death timers will be reaching that 60-second mark, and that is going to be dangerous for each team. Okay, the Baron is back on the map, and just as predicted, so is the Ocean Drag. That could be the last elemental dragon of the game, or at least 100% chance to be at least at most the second last drag. As we see Cake Monster ready to start it with the help of Fibalicia and C9 Snoops in tow. And with that, doesn't seem like there's much resistance, as Ghost Orzhov doesn't have any clue what HP this dragon is at. And soul point. It is now soul point to soul point in terms of drags, but with 5 minutes until the last elemental dragon of the game, both sides are now looking towards the Baron, which red side coincidentally also has better vision on. Oh, yeah. And Psy-Hero will be flash E'd on by John, trying to get that ult off, but it is not enough overwhelm as John is able to nearly solo kill.
And as you can see in the bot lane, Kai'Sa did a 1v1 onto Locke earlier, but continued pushing and was punished.
Yeah, and unfortunately not able to get all that Frosty wanted onto Cake Monster, who was the only one left there, but especially not with John in tow as well.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, Shades able to put out a lot of damage on the Ghost Orzhov. The ult comes out from Morgana as well, and that will be a simple kill, as now 3 members of blue team are down, and there's a beautiful wave for Veigar's Vixens as they take down the second of 3 inhibitors. And John able to get the E onto this third person forced to flash away and ult behind them as they tried to disengage, but let's see, Cake Monster nearly falling, will not. John is taking the turret on behalf of his team, and the first Nexus turret has fallen for Zyra Zaddy's. The second, and now it is an open Nexus, but Psy-Hero is back trying to push the members of the red team away. Fibalicia will Zhonya's, but it may spell their demise as all of the damage comes out, but third person is going to fall to C9 Snoops as Frosty Penguins is back looking for extra damage, flashes onto C9 Snoops, gets the kill, and now Psy-Hero able to work through the Shen W and get a double kill, as who knows, with a minute before any more than one defender remains for Veigar's Vixens. We'll see if it's a Baron take or if it's a push to end.
Yeah, really good wave clear from Medeo and third to stall long enough for the carries to respawn on blue side.
Yeah, and with the shred coming out from Kai'Sa, I doubt this Baron will be any danger, but let's see, Cake Monster now gets vision of it, gets in, but will not get the smite, and now it seems he is in danger, forced to flash away and use the Blast Plant to secure his escape. But what's that? 4 super minions knocking on the door. We've seen this story before. Ghost Orzhov is here, ready to stop and defend his base. In spite of the fact that he just got Baron, he should be sieging, but in effect, all that it's going to do is just take an objective that would have ended the game for Veigar's Vixens off of the map.
Yep. This is a minor thing but it looks like Kai'Sa swapped out that Static Shiv for a Phantom Dancer. I've been for the last 5 minutes, I've been trying to think. I knew the Phantom Dancer was new. I was trying to figure out what item it replaced.
You're right. Good eye.
Hopefully that helps, though. I think with how much Kai'Sa's had to how much movement Kai'Sa's needed in to move the fights, like dodging the Shen taunt. You see how disaster it is when Kai'Sa can't. So that extra movement speed should hopefully help.
Yeah, and with all 5 members of each team alive and ready, we'll see as both teams now looking for a fight, trying to get the last bits of buffs that they do not need the gold from, but may be able to use to get a little bit of an advantage in these fights. John looking for something here, but not trying to get caught out, as it's just a minute until Soul for either team. Seems like that is the new priority.
Yeah, unfortunately, blue teams, with inhibitors being down and super minions being up, it's really hard for them to push in. So I think, waiting for Dragon's probably their best bet.
Yeah, and as it's ARAM time with that Baron buff, Hero and Frosty Penguins are able to push the mid wave so that they can get priority over this river, but little do they know, there's still a lot of vision from red side here that has not been cleared, so they will know if the dragon is being started. John looking to make an entrance here and snuff out any of the control wards that might be stopping them. And with their entire team in tow, third person is still in the top lane with that top lane quest TP ready, but we'll see if they make it in time. Medeo looking for a flank, trying to get a little bit of poke here, as Zyra is so good at doing. And here it comes, 5 seconds until the Ocean Drag appears on the map. And we'll see. It's going to be a coin flip here. This will decide the game, this match, as Medeo catches C9 Snoops out, and C9 is the first to fall as Hero able to secure that kill. It looks like Ghost Orzhov is going to have a very clean and easy time securing this soul, but we'll see what they can do as Shades takes that Zyra damage, and Cake Monster and John are looking for the flank around on the opposite side. Ghost Orzhov, thinking better of it, does not even sit inside the pit waiting for them, as now red side has priority over the pit somehow.
Yeah. Blue team needs to go now.
Yeah, blue team is here with 5 members to red side's 4, as John is losing HP rapidly, falls as Alicia is able to get a stun onto Ghost Orzhov, but not before they fall to Hero. And now Cake Monster and Shades are the only 2 members left of red team, and blue team has secured the soul. Frosty going in onto Cake Monster, gets the solo kill basically, and Shades is the only member left. Gets hit by the greatest snowball ever, and Frosty walking straight at the Nexus with 0 minions at all. Still, the desire to end the game is there. I can feel it.
Yeah, this Kai'Sa wants to end the game, and it's understandable. It's already been 50 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd want to leave too, but I mean, this is what a late game Kai'Sa does, right? Like, as soon as Kai'Sa has enough space to auto and get abilities off, the enemy team is just shredded.
Yeah, we see C9 Snoops using that Purgatory to try and clear the wave. It is not enough though, as they will sacrifice their body now and will not get the kill onto Frosty Penguins. Instead, it's another ace as C9 Snoops falls, staggering the deaths of Veigar's Vixens and not providing enough leeway to stop this taking of the first of their Nexus turrets. Onto the next one, but without any minions here to tank, Ghost Orzhov is going to be tanking these turrets and likely will fall there. And now let's see who's next. Medeo is the next one, but there are still 3 members of the blue team left whopping on this Nexus, and they will take the game. Zyra Zaddies will take game 2 in 50 minutes.
Yeah, that was a back and forth banger there, but yeah, blue side is able to clinch it out in the end.
I loved that last fight around the dragon. I don't know if you can tell, DRK, but when I start, I can't stop smiling through it. The way that these teams are able to, and I always do this motion, right? If you're looking on stream, of turning of the cube to see the other face, where they're able to push the team around and get priority over the pit when they have no business doing that at all.
Yeah. I think that was really interesting that like you said, red side was able to, despite being down a member, was able to get priority over the pit, but blue side was a member up, was able to kind of wrap around and dive straight onto them. But they had really good dive with Sejuani, Nunu, Kai'Sa. As soon as the dive goes through, as soon as Kai'Sa is not locked down, is able to flash out or dash around, it's just outputting that damage. And then Hero on top of that with Mel, just there's a lot of damage coming outside from blue side if their carries are untouched.
Yeah, completely. And so, before we go and take a break, as I might need to cool down, we were waited for, as we are probably going to go straight into the draft for our last game of the night. DRK, are you down for that?
Yeah, I'm down. I think I'm good.
Good, because we're going to need to calm down during the draft of this game, as I think, I'm just going to say that we're ready, but that was such a beautiful performance. I can't stop thinking about how Frosty and Shades were both able to be the aggressive ADCs that they need to be on Kai'Sa and Samira to work through the issues that their team was having in terms of outputting damage.
Yeah. I know, like, yeah, just like it was really like, yeah, just like I think especially in like Kaisa came away the victor, but it was like Shades was also like if they were able to stack up their ults, their passive mark, they were able to get some really good ults off as well. So taking out a few key members here and there, but really it was just like that. Like it started with that CS difference from Kaisa early, and um, yeah. As soon as it was that CS difference, and it was an item difference, and then Kaisa just now like shredding through everyone. So
Yeah. And good on Frosty for being in that position where there are so many times, DRK, you know, as an ADC main now, where you think to yourself, what does it matter that I was given this extra item if I can never get it, first of all? And then when I do get it, I'm immediately shut down. It doesn't matter that I'm the ADC and I'm given this role. But Frosty able to pull through with the extra item, making it matter, and even trading an item in and saying, oh, actually, the Phantom Dancer will be able to get my ghost self out of a fight in a bad situation.
exactly, yeah. There was a lot of nice confident plays from Frosty throughout the game. Most of them worked out, and they got the win. So.
Yeah, and we're now ready with the draft and first ban phase of our third game of the night. We'll be going back to the Ruby League and watching Jake's Jammers versus Lads Delulu Lulus.
Yeah, so we'll see if Mina the Assassin, their team, can get pick up a win that they didn't pick up in game 1 here. So.
Yeah, and maybe, you know, I know they do like Viego. I've seen them a few times playing Viego, but maybe they have switched it up in the past games or so. They said, you know what, I needed a mulligan, and now we're on to a champion that might be able to collaborate, coordinate a little bit better with their team. We see the Seraphine, Yunara, Kayn, Syndrome, Morgana, and Mumu. A lot of familiar faces in this ban list.
For sure, yep.
Okay, I see in the chat, John calling him out like that. Guess it's Twitch and Kaisa now for banning for Frosty.
Especially with Kaisa getting a buff tomorrow, yeah, Kaisa might go on the ban list, but again, you're kind of you get to start to pinch with those first bans.
Yeah. And first pick, we got Lux out. We'll see if that is Lux support for Ritsu. I think that might be a potential pick for them.
Yeah, I'm curious, is Lux going to be support or mid? Where does it generally go in Ruby?
I would think mid, but Ritsu, I believe, could play Lux support given their other champ pool and what I'm imagining is the stretching out of it. And then we see Xerath, who also could be a support, but more likely in the mid lane.
Do you see Lux APC in the bot lane here, or not really?
I would think not, personally. But, you know, anything could happen. And it's all about the comfort picks of these players who may have been developing new portfolios of champions here. Similarly, Zyra, I would think in the Ruby League is a support champion, but we'll see as these pick up. Oh, we do see a rerun, a running it back of Viego. Oh, and Zyra must not be a support champion as we see Sona about to be picked.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. So Zyra mid, Sona support. That's good backline like utility from them for sure.
Yeah,
plus a lot of that.
As long as Zyra knows where the junglers are going to fight, Zyra's really one of the most competent mid laners at being able to support their jungler by basically placing anything that can take a Xerath E away from stunning a champion, or just being able to keep Xerath in place, because Zyra's root goes through everything.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how mid lane goes. That mid jungle synergy works out in this game. On the other side, we've got Viego plus either Xerath or Lux. So
yeah, also a lot of capability to help out with the semi-global ults coming out from either of them.
Yeah. Xerath is definitely one of my tail champions because of how much long range damage he can do. So
Yeah. It's like, he's not even on my screen. Why is he hurting me?
yeah, exactly. We see, like, this is what I was like thinking about with blue side. They need some frontline, and red team responds by banning two of the better tanks in the game right now, Ornn and Shen. So
Yes. And so we'll see. Maybe we see Mundo come out here, as he's long been the menace of Ruby and the Topaz League. And it could be that we see him, and especially a Poggle tilt champ. So we'd see, I think the more you go into a specific person's psyche, the more you'll see specific tilt champs be picked.
yeah, I mean, honestly, like a Mundo wouldn't be bad here. There's you don't need CC from the tank on blue side. You've got Lux and Zera to provide some nice CC. So, you know, Mundo wouldn't be a bad tank pickup here.
And we'll see. It's going to be one of these next two, as we see both the ADC and the top lane reserved for last pick here. So we've got Akshan coming out.
That's interesting. I guess it's going to have to be Akshan top, and then I wonder who they're going to go for ADC here.
I'm wondering if it's Xerath APC, because I could see that being a pick for Sage here for Emo Loser. Then we've been totally bamboozled, and you know, it's looking more and more like it, as Akshan in the mid, Xerath APC, Lux support, Psy on top.
Yeah. Okay. That's a really nice rounding out of the team, I think. There, I mean, you've got enough like physical and like marksman damage coming out from the Viego and Akshan, so to balance it out. On the other side, we're completed with a Zahan in the top lane, so
yes, and Vex potentially as the APC. You know, I saw a TikTok today that was like the lane that has never occurred, and it was like Vex Camille against Fiora and some support for Fiora. That was the bot lane. And so it's like, are we in the era of champ lanes that have never been seen before? I think we are.
Yeah. We are going to see, again, everyone's been talking about mage bot lanes lately, and we're going to have it again this game, so.
Great. And we will see you. Stick around, as we're going to watch the final game of the night. We are back in the Ruby League, watching Lads Delulululus versus Jake's Jammers. And we'll be back in about 2.5 minutes. Stick around.
See you guys soon.
Welcome, everyone, to week 3 of CMSA's League of Legends League. We are watching the moment as that Lux ult comes out. Now going on to Zoe Relibear, Latimer, and Ghost Orzhov, Shades, Jogun are here. While John is fighting against Blazing Bowman, Sarah, and Squall, they manage to get onto Blazing Bowman, locking each of them down one by one as they are goon squatting through the jungle, forcing Squall and Sarah Akemi to run away from their base to try to get out of here. But Squall and Sarah Akemi are seemingly fish stuck in the barrel. The cleanse comes out, but it will not likely be enough, as Ghost Orzhov is so darn tanky. The Zhonya's comes out from Squall, but still, they will fall. Potentially to put some wards down and scope out how they can catch someone out. And Squall is the first victim, running seemingly blind in, as Zoe Relibear and Jotaro are not far behind. Ghost Orzhov gets onto Jotaro Albani to stop any disengage, as Shades gets the kill onto Vel'Koz. But now the Urgot ult comes out, and Jotaro Albani will be the victim here. Blazing Bowman chasing after Shades, but Latimer is there to flash in the way. Wow, protecting their ADC perfectly, as Ghost Orzhov able to put Blazing Bowman and Zoe Relibear on the run in the reverse direction. The taunts and stuns all come out, and Blazing Bowman will fall as Sarah Akemi is trying to disengage from a distance, but now Zoe Relibear trying to run for her life back to her turret. The Ghost Orzhov Rammus Q able to get onto her, and she will be the next one to fall as well, as there's one member of the red team left. As opens up the mid lane for a siege, as only Squall remains to try to protect this mid lane turret, as some plates are being taken down. The double ult from Lux connects to Zoe Relibear and Squall to get a kill, but Jotaro Albani does get an ult onto Jogun, but it does not connect fully, as now Miss Fortune is going to be able to get a double ult onto Blazing Bowman and Jotaro Albani. And now with that, it's a full clean ace for Zyra Zaddies. 5-0 as they have one minion and a cannon minion. And it may look like they're going to end the game as Jogon has TP and is basing. We'll see if he comes right back to get this Nexus.
Yeah, I think
as GGs are being said.
Yeah, looks like this is the end of the game. But like that, Luxel getting both Vel'Koz and I think Nami was really like that was like from almost like 100 to 0 there.
Yes, and absolute. It was the Q into Lux ults, and honestly, the Lux may be the MVP of the game. 7-3 and 18, so much damage, 25 Magi stacks. It's exactly what you would want from that champion in the mid lane. That was amazing to watch the end of that because we saw the coordination that came from playing for so long tonight with the same team.
Yeah, blue team, that Lux again, like you said, was really impressive. Red team had some good moments. I think it's unfortunately like their team, I think a little bit team fight just didn't go in their way and lost on their end, unfortunately. But they still played really well.
And thank you, the star, for that last fart of the night. As I think we're ready to call it quits. Thank you, DRK, for joining me tonight. You've been an amazing co-host.
Have a good night, everyone. Good night.
All right. Thank you all. Have a great night. We've got the top 5 players by win rate and KDA for CMSA so far. And it's a mix. We've got some Ruby players. Hello and welcome back. It is the final game of the night. We are watching the Ruby League. It is Lads Delulululus on the blue side against Jake's Jammers on the red side. And we see the pings are out. They're always out at the beginning to say, take care of these brushes. I am here with DRK. DRK, we've been having an amazing night and we're gonna watch one last game. But what I didn't ask you before we left on the break, what side are you picking as maybe the advantage in this game?
I honestly feel like both teams are evenly matched here. I'm feeling a little bit sus about the Zyra APC. I think I value Zyra at the APC a little bit more than Zyra, but again, I don't know how these teams can pull it off. Also, the Vex is I think Vex is an auction counter, but I'm not 100% certain. So I think maybe I'm leaning a little towards red side, but I could easily see blue side getting this as well.
Yeah, I think red side on the top half of the map, including Vex, I would give it to them. Where I think Zahan has a good advantage over Sion. Of course, we're not seeing that now with all of the damage that Poggle has already taken in the first part of the ooh, and then that's done into the grass proc. Uh-oh, it's looking rough for Poggle. But everywhere besides the Sona and Zyra lane seems to have a natural advantage over their lane opponent.
Yep, exactly.
Ooh, but here we see the early level 2s in almost each of these lanes. You can see the automatic camera going back and forth as King Yeti's forced to flash there by Poggle, putting out the emotes of the what just happened there. Ooh, but Ritsu taking quite a lot of damage in the bot lane, giving Corpse Bride the opportunity to push this wave out back a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully they don't get reported for emote usage, but...
Oh no, I wouldn't think so. I think that's the type of emote usage that I would be very okay with of, hey, something weird did happen there. Isn't that funny?
Fair. Wasn't BM, so...
Yeah. But look at this. Poggle being down so far in HP at the beginning of this fight, still able to make it back. Of course, King Yeti. Oh, able to get what looks to be almost a solo kill as the Ignite comes out from Poggle, but it is not enough on either side as King Yeti and Poggle both with very little HP.
Yeah. Admittedly, I still haven't learned how Zahan works, so I'm just like, I'm guessing he has a lifesteal build.
Yes, he does, as Poggle gets first blood with a beautiful hook into their own turret as King Yeti is left struggling to get even the minions with their passive with that undying Scion passive.
Yeah, really playing on knife's edge there, but good kill pickup from Poggle. And Sejuani's here, so maybe you'll see another kill.
Yeah, we see the gank onto the TP coming back from King Yeti. The red buff from Quaib is going to do so much here as Poggle looking for the right opportunity to re-engage. It looks like it's now as they both get in onto King Yeti. King Yeti trying to use the alcove, but I'm not sure what it's going to do for them as Poggle is just able to allow Quaib to solo kill essentially here. Well, we missed a Zemo loser on blue side, getting a kill onto Corpse Bride, and now it's going to be returned in terms of the favor as King Yeti is not able to get anything out of 2 deaths and using all of their sums.
Yeah, I think that's one of the worst things as a top laner when you TP back in and die again, and that's unfortunately what happened to Sion there.
Yeah, you see a beautiful fight coming out from Corpse Bride as Emo Loser lands a beautiful stun onto Doofies, but we'll see. As Quaib is now here, ready in the mid lane to get onto Cookie Nabber. But Akshani, the swing, heroic swing, will get him to safety.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, we missed the kill from Emo Loser and Xerath onto Corpse by Zyra, but Zyra does have TP, so I was able to get back in lane, get some poke back onto Xerath, and force them out of lane.
Yeah, with the mage bot laners, it's like, you have TP, you get a TP, everyone gets a TP. It's just on the extremes of the map, they're very mobile to start making macro plays. And who needs an attack damage carry anyways?
Yes. Oh my gosh, mage bots have been doing really well lately. Yeah. I played in. I'll wait after this fight. But...
Oh yeah, we see Poggle just bullying King Yeti here as King Yeti is not able to get onto the wave without taking an onslaught of blows from Zahen, who's now level 6, and we may see a dive up in the top lane is why I just want to go right back to it.
Okay.
And
Zahen doesn't have the revive passive right now, so it'll be a little bit dangerous, but...
Yes. Oh, and in the bot lane, we see Mina the Assassin looking for a way around. There are no wards here for Corpse Bride and Doofies, although they might sense that something is wrong or have seen Viego with just that Zyra plant. Now, they may be looking to face check, but nope. Easily avoided with a simple trick. Junglers hate this simple trick. It's warding. Ooh! And the Ignite coming out from Poggle and the walk away will get King Yeti's HP as it's a solo kill. And the 3rd death for Sion, unfortunately, for King Yeti.
Yeah, unfortunate there.
You know, the Assassin almost landing a beautiful stun onto Periphery, but fortunately, nothing gained there.
Meanwhile, Sejuani's taking one of their camps, their blue buff down there.
Yeah, we see Quaib behind Mina the Assassin. Poggle here, just ready for backup. Mina understanding something must be wrong as the blue buff disappeared, but the smite comes out and the unstoppable... Wow, Mina the Assassin able to secure their blue buff and get out of that dangerous situation without blowing any sums.
Yeah, good defense from Mina there, so...
Uh-oh. Ritsu and Emo Loser seeming to be in trouble as Doofy's is going in. This is a low HP as there's so much burst on both sides. Uh-oh.
Zyra has also taken a lot of damage. Sona's the only one healthy in this lane right now.
Yeah, we see the pings coming out that Periphery may be on the move as Vex would clean up in this bot lane as Doofy's trading their HP for so much pressure, allowing Corpse Bride the space to push out this lane a little bit.
I think what's kind of funny about this bot lane is that Xerath and Zyra are also considered support sometimes, so it's like a double support bot lane on either side.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing when we were looking at the drafts. But mages, they can go pretty much anywhere. Is the crazy thing. ADCs at one point dominated the map, annoyed everyone. I think it's a great conspiracy by top laners, because it's the first lane that ADCs started to annoy. Top laners have engineered it. They said, put the ADCs mid lane, put the mages in the bot lane, put put them everywhere to counter what they did to our lane.
Yeah.
The corruption of one lane potentially leads to the Fiesta and for costs we're seeing in all the lanes now. Okay, Mina the Assassin on a ward here. Potentially able to take the... Ooh, up in the top lane. Just to interrupt myself, Poggle in a very advantageous position to get some damage onto King Yeti. It looks like it's going to be a solo kill. The ult comes out from Zahen, and Poggle will be able to very swiftly take the kill onto King Yeti. Looking for a fight, though. I'm not sure if he wants... Oh, yeah. And the Zahen passive goes off.
Nice, nice resurrection there. And unfortunately, I think Sion tried to ult away a little bit too late there.
Right. I'm not sure if the ult even connected to Poggle there. Okay, we see Mina the Assassin going for this Drake, but Periphery is here on time, just autoing. Not sure. It seems like they were helping to leash as the Xerath ult comes out. The heroic swing from Cookie Never gets a little bit of extra damage. Mina the Assassin able to get Vex's body, ulting back up on to get Quaib. The stun comes out from Viego, and Quaib forced to flash away as now Cookie Nabber fully charges up their ult, and that is Quaib's gone. As what we didn't see was Ritsu falling to Doofy's in the bot lane. It looks like the Zyra ult must have come out and done a lot of damage to Lux. Oh, Doofy's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not sure what is going to happen here. The Ignite comes out from Cookie Nabber, and so much damage from that heroic swing as Doofy's is now forced to sit under their turret and wait out those Ignite ticks.
Yeah, but Iron Hands from Doofy's not using either of their summoner spells there.
Right. Okay, so much damage coming out from Emo Loser on Xerath here as Corpse Bride forced to stand still sometimes to cast their abilities. Okay, a little bit of a lull as the epic monsters have been taken. We see the Grubs did go over to Quaib, and the Mountain Drake went over to Lads Delulululus. Oh, uh-oh. The amount of damage going on to Corpse Bride is scary as they only just made it back to lane with TP, and now they're forced once again back to their fountain.
Yep. This Lux, Xerath, and Lux poke is getting to be a bit much for them.
Okay, Cookie Nabber's heroic swing interrupted there by Quaib and Periphery, and so it's a successful gank from Quaib to get a good kill for... against the enemy mid laner, but not for theirs. Okay, Corpse Ride now having to navigate around the right of the Arcane. Xerath hitting 2 out of 4, but it is not enough to secure the kill onto Corpse Ride as now Ritsu is in danger. The Zyra ult comes out, and Xerath ult flashing in with the W gets the kill onto Corpse Bride, but Quaib is here to equalize and make sure that it's actually a 2-for-1 instead of a 1-for-1. Okay, Poggle here in a little bit of danger as Mina the Assassin comes in. King Yeti ults, and Poggle ults to try to get out of there. The flash comes out, and top lane quest is complete in the middle of all of this. Poggle looking to get their resurrection back, it looked like, but not in time as Mina the Assassin collects them.
Yeah, good shutdown picked up by Viego there. Really important to slow down that Zahen in the top lane.
Absolutely, as you know, it's just about 2 to 2.5 minutes left for the next objectives on the map. The Rift Herald and the Hextech Drake. We may see another Cloud Soul or Ocean Soul this game, or Chemtech. I'm curious about any of those, as the ultimate abilities are going to be so important, and the last half of HP is going to be so important. Those 3 Drakes could make or break these teams. Of course, the Infernal Soul is always going to be impactful, but damage they have in plenty. But the sustain, that's where maybe Sona really wants to see the Chemtech Soul come out. Oh, Periphery potentially caught out by Cookie Nabber, but we'll see who gets caught as Periphery lands their ult and gets the kill, but not before it's equalized by Mina the Assassin. Now Mina, forced around 3 people, starts headed towards the red side Nexus in an effort to get away from Quaib. What will they be able to do? They don't have their flash up just yet, and they're caught in the middle of all of these champions they're trying to fancy feed, but Corpse Bride gets the kill.
Yeah. I mean, good attempt from blue side there, but unfortunately it's 2 for 1.
Okay. And at 13:30, the gold is super even.
Yeah, there's been a lot of scrapping. It's kind of hard to tell which lanes are winning and which lanes are losing. I think definitely red side has an advantage in the top lane, but mid lane and bot, it's kind of hard to tell which team is winning, I think.
Yes, and Mina has been able to find the vulnerable spots away from Quaib. For the most part, obviously we saw them just fall to the collaboration of Quaib and the bot lane, but Mina able to get the kills that they need to start entering the game and building up their collector.
Yeah. Very different from what we saw in game 1, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And as we see, it's top heavy in terms of output on the red side, but will they be able to withstand the split pushing Scion? Here we see Quaib and Periphery trying to 2v4, not knowing that what's coming. Doofies is able to get there with a 2-person ult and flash, and Mina the Assassin will be the first one to fall as it's 1 for none, as there's a disengage now that Corpse Bride has entered the fight. The TP comes in from King Yeti, as they now know this is the Hextech Drake that they want to fight over still. Without their jungler, though, they're just trying to keep Quaib off of it. Ooh, Quaib flash Qs in as King Yeti's HP starts to fall, and King Yeti is going to fall as Doofies gets hit by the Lux root into the right of the Arcane, and Periphery in danger there as Quaib also, Cookie Nabber able to get the kill there as Lux secures the shutdown onto Quaib.
Yeah. Good roam down from the Scion. Unfortunately, it does mean they lose the top lane turret now, but I mean, it stops the dragon take and then leaves it up for Viego.
Yeah, we see Cookie Nabber, ooh, potentially looking for someone there, but does not find before they're able to get back to their base. And this will be an easy Hextech Drake take, the second Drake of the game for Lads Lulululus.
Yeah, and that gives them an easy objective or goal to play for towards later in the game.
Ooh, a quick kill bush ambush from Corpse Bride onto Cookie Nabber. That root and ult will take Cookie Nabber's life. But here's the rub, is it is going to be a Chemtech Soul. Sona is cheering.
Yeah, Sona's cheering. If Red Tech can get 4 Chemtech Drakes, Sona will be very happy. So
yes. Giving that extra heal and shield power and potential sustain, it's going to become the objective of Desire for sure. But before that, the Rift Herald is up and looks like King Yeti is going to get some vision on it by taking this scuttle, as Quaib is looking to see who may be around. See a little bit of skirmishing here as Mina the Assassin is already here, Periphery waiting in the wings, and we'll see as now it's a 3-on-3 as Poggle and Cookie Nabber have entered the fight. Oops, don't want to go there. Mina the Assassin on just 10% HP trying to get away, but Poggle is going to be able to do so much damage. King Yeti fighting just Periphery and Quaib up there as Cookie Nabber is able to get away down here, and Mina the Assassin, King Yeti will be the only one to fall as it looks like red side is able to get priority over the Rift Herald, and Poggle looking to protect the mid lane entrance here as Quaib will continue to heal and potentially take the Rift Herald. Yep, we'll see it.
Meanwhile, Viego got out of the fight and is now taking bot jungle, but that does mean they're wrapping. Oof.
Yeah, beautiful ult there from Ritsu to secure the kill onto Doofies. Through the heal. Ooh, but here's Mina the Assassin getting onto Corpse Bride, forcing the flash out as Quaib finishes taking the Rift Herald. Corpse Bride is going to flash out to safety here. Oh, but there's Mina the Assassin right back onto Corpse Bride, and we'll see the ult coming out from Viego, dodging the Zyra stun, but Periphery will be there to clean up as the right of the Arcane continues, and Periphery is at just a quarter of their HP. Poggle coming in onto Ritsu potentially, trying to get on as the Heroic Swing does kill Periphery, and we'll see. Will the Cookie Nabber be able to make it away from Poggle? The slow comes out from Sona, and beautifully Poggle is able to finish them as well, collecting a double.
Yeah, good roam down from Poggle and Zahen to pick up some kills, spread their gold lead, and get their team ahead elsewhere. So, but yeah, this has been we've had another very scrappy game, almost 2 kills a minute again. So.
Yeah. And we're just seeing the inverse of Sion being able to take the base as soon as take the first turret in the top lane as Zahen ventures down. But Sion not willing to stop as there's a massive wave up top that Poggle now needs to go answer.
Bot lane turns almost down after this wave. Periphery should hopefully get it.
And we see Cookie Nabber sees Quaib here, but not interested in interacting, looking instead for Periphery as the ult comes in from Vex, and Cookie Nabber coming into the defense of Emo Loser, but Emo Loser flashes away. Doesn't seem like much. Ooh, Sion able to land a beautiful, unstoppable onslaught onto Doofies, and now Mina the Assassin is going to be able to collect that kill and move further into the mid lane as there's now so much pressure for blue side.
Yeah. Sona knew they weren't going to make it out and at least got their ball laner out there. So
yeah, Lux also, even as a support, is able to push so much with a Ludens, with a Dark Seal, and with that Storm Surge, just putting out so much damage, even though she's very squishy. Okay, we see the battle of a 3v4 happening here. Now 3v5 as Poggle, Quaib, and Corpse Bride struggle to keep this mid turret alive. Now joined by Doofies and Peripheries. It's a 5v5. It's about to be an ARAM in the mid lane as Poggle's trying to leave, but is stopped by Ritsu. All right. The ARAM will not cease as King Yeti is dragged back into the fight as well.
Yeah, there's not really any objectives to fight around either. Waves are an even spot on both sides. Maybe top lane's pushing in for blue a little bit, but
yeah, and with King Yeti basing, they may be looking. Ooh, the ult from Vex comes in onto Ritsu and basically one-shots as the Rift Herald will now be dropped in the mid lane as the Chemtech Drake is here. And red team happens to be in the exact right position to prioritize it, interestingly enough, but instead goes for the Rift Herald as Poggle gets inside to jam it into the second mid-tier turret.
Yeah, Vex with 2 items and Spellslinger shoots just, one-shots that Lux from like 50% HP.
Yeah, and here we have, it seems to be no, they're just giving it up themselves. Relinquishing priority as they would have been able to just ram this dragon down. Now they're back on it, and Mina the Assassin potentially has an opportunity here, looking to see how much this has. Blue team, Mina the Assassin does steal the Drake as giving up their lives in the process, it seems. Corpse Ride trying to get out of there. Poggle getting onto Cookie Nabber as the King Yeti is giving up their life in response, but Poggle is not going to be able, will be able to get onto Cookie Nabber and is getting the Zahen Undying passive to revive themselves as Quaib and Poggle are now here, ready to get onto Ritsu. Both Emo Loser and Ritsu are hooked in, and that spells the end as Quaib is able to stun Emo Loser, and Poggle will take that kill, giving quite the lead to red side in terms of gold, but it is soul point earned for Mina the Assassin with that steal.
Yeah, good secure from Viego, even although it is an ace for blue. Blue team did get ace there, so.
Yeah, and I'm unsure of how they would be able to resist. Maybe Mina the Assassin is coming back in for one more steal. It does look like they may be able to make it here in time if they focus it, but no, onto the ground. As it's 5 members of the red team able to secure this 5-man Baron.
Yeah. So, despite not having the dragons, the red team does have like shutdowns across the board. Has actually almost like a 5k gold lead at this point, maybe 4k, but it's a lot more sizable than we've seen in previous games. So,
right.
Yeah, I think if red team keeps grouping up like that, I think, and keeps getting picks, hopefully not losing objectives, but I think they can clinch the victory here.
Yeah, it is seemingly still on a knife's edge, as one big fight could still just turn it for either team. It makes me think sometimes in these situations, what was the point of getting all of this? But here we see Doofy's just a little bit out of position, forced to flash away of a potentially dangerous situation. Ritsu almost falling to Periphery. Periphery then forced to flash away as Ritsu is able to get out, thanks to King Yeti and the disengage from Emo Loser. As now it's back to Siege as Poggle down in the bot lane, able to take so much HP off of this turret while their team continues to push in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, they did lose some flashes, but it was a good distraction from the 3 members of Rit there too, while Poggle takes another tower.
Yeah, and we see a King Yeti unable to secure the collapse onto Poggle as now the mid tier 2 has fallen, and Quaib looking to push as it's 4v3 in the mid lane. Only Ritsu is here in terms, and Emo Loser are here in terms of wave clear, as against the Baron secured minions, their APCs are not going to be able to put out a lot of minion pushing damage.
Yeah, now we see a bit of a 2-3, 3-2 split.
Ritsu seemingly standing still, waiting in the wings as Quaib is there, launches the ult, and Ritsu is going to fall, leaving potentially a vulnerability for Doofies to come right on in. The main damage that they would get rooted and stunned by, given their positioning, is gone. Okay, and now it's back to the bot lane, as this Baron siege has been so well coordinated all around, as we see Periphery gets the kill onto Emo Loser, and once again, the mid turret is being sieged down, but the Akshan ult is going to come down, reviving Emo Loser once again. See Poggle going straight for that turret with this Baron siege, as King Yeti is now in danger. Quaib able to get onto them, but the Right of the Arcane is going to start up. The Lux ultimate comes out, and the King Yeti struggling to stay alive, but is still alive somehow. Does get killed by Quaib, and Poggle now looking for someone. Mina the Assassin able to get the shutdown there and get some HP back, as Doofy's, Quaib, and Corpse Bride are looking for a way out, but Mina the Assassin as Zahan able to get onto Quaib, but the ult comes out from Sona, and it's enough as the Zyra plans continue to knock down Mina the Assassin's remaining HP.
Yeah, a little bit of an overstay from Red team, but they're still able to get on their tower, get away with some kills.
Yeah, perhaps overconfident with what I was saying of how well they were rotating around. Just taking too long to stop rotating around.
Exactly, yeah. I think, they lost the Viego shutdown and the Vex shutdown and the Zahan shutdown, so we'll see if that's enough for blue side to get a little bit more of an advantage, but for now, it's like minions are pushing into blue side's base.
Yes, and with Mina the Assassin still down for 4 seconds, the Chemtech Drake is about to be up, and with no one there to steal it, will Corpse Bride, Doofies, and Quaib, and Periphery, with Poggle TPing in, will they be able to take it quickly enough?
Yeah. They have enough, they create enough space that they should be able to, but yep.
And it's easily taken as Periphery lands onto King Yeti, perhaps not the right target for their ult, as they're quickly killed by Cookie Nabber. And now, Red side looking to disengage from this potential 5v4, as all members of the blue team are here.
Yeah.
They ran up into the top side of the map with the swiftness as though the Baron were there. I almost believed it, almost believed their movement over what I know to be true, that it's 1 minute and 30 until the Baron comes up.
Yeah, but at least they can get up some, maybe take down this mid lane tier 1.
Ooh, and Ritsu gets caught by that glacial prison from Sejuani, and now Doofies, in a pretty bad position, gets Lux ulted, and the Right of the Arcane comes out as well to do just a little bit more damage if it connects, and Corpse Bride trying to do the fancy feat, but then loses half of their HP to the Right of the Arcane. Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if Sona ult was up there, but if it was, maybe it was just... Good kill from Sean onto Zyra, and then...
Yeah, and then onto Vex as well, but Poggle is continuing the push down in the bot lane without King Yeti able to stop them. Okay, Poggle, understanding that this may be the end, uses their ult to avoid the unstoppable onslaught from Sion. Now trying to just get one kill at the very least, but the Zion passive is up. As, let's see, Poggle is able to get the kill on Tamina. And Ritsu also just fell to Quaib in the mid lane. Cookie Nabber, potentially the next one to fall, but instead is the one to revive as Mina the Assassin comes right back.
Yeah. Oh boy, I'm losing track. There's fights happening all over the place.
Yes, still at 2 kills per minute almost. These teams have not stopped fighting.
They have not stopped fighting. I think maybe, at least especially for Red Side, I think it would help if they slowed down the fighting a little bit. I think some of these Vex ults have been not onto ideal targets.
Yes. We're treating Vex ult almost a little bit like Briar ult of, if it hits, I go.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe either pick up a voice staff or, be a little bit more selective on when to go in. That would help.
And we see at about 30 minutes, it's just 2,000 gold about separating these two teams in favor of Jake's Jammers. And now both teams, the only epic objective on the map is the Baron. And we'll see as wards are being placed. They're already on the map, largely for Red Side, and Mina the Assassin is looking to uncover them.
Yep. Yeah, Blue Side is now, it looks like Blue Side has better vision control right now. Maybe as soon as Sejuani moves over, Red Side can get some more vision, so.
Yeah, it's looking dangerous and dark for the red team here as they realize they're not on Baron, so at least that's the boon, as Blue Side hiding in the corners, trying to bait out what looks like it could be a collapse for Quaib and Poggle, with Periphery coming in the wings. Ritsu and Mina are not too far away, but the unstoppable onslaught comes out to give Sion the extra bit of space without trading too much of their HP away for the Baron.
Yeah, good use of the Sion ult to escape, but that does mean it's not there for a later engage, maybe around Baron.
Yeah, with 2 super minions coming in, potentially more in the bot lane, both Mina the Assassin and Cookie Nabber back, but Red team doesn't know that as they continue. Well, now they do, but they are unsure of where the rest of Blue Side is, as now it looks like they are beginning to set up the Dragon for what could be their second Chemtech Drake of the game.
Yeah, Dragon's up in about 30-40 seconds. And yeah, that looks like the next objective to play for.
Okay, Quaib looking to get some levels back off from Mina the Assassin, who has a little bit of a level lead. And we'll see. With just 15 seconds left, looks like Red Team is in a better position with Poggle already here and King Yeti pushing up in the top lane. But Mina the Assassin may be in a dangerous spot as the E comes out, the empowered E from Sona, slow him down just a little bit, losing half of his HP. Ritsu also loses so much HP from just simple, not even a full combo from Periphery as the ult missed.
It looks like the call from Blue Team is to push top lane instead. Zareth is TPing up there.
Yeah, we see Emo Loser TPing up. Will they be able to get this before Poggle can respond, as the Chemtech Drake is securely in the hands of Jake's Jammers? 2 Drakes to 3. Not yet at Soul Point, but potentially in 5 minutes they may be.
Yep, Poggle's able to make it up in time and stop the push, so yeah, unlucky TP usage there.
Yes, a little bit unfortunate there. And if we look at, what I just saw is that Viego and Akshan have a very similar build. Oh, this kill lane. Poggle would be knocked up into the air and then swiftly destroyed by Emo Loser, Mina the Assassin, and the King Yeti. And that opens up the Baron possibility as the pings are coming out. Quaib forced to back off of their Gromp there. Of course, Cookie Nabber is not here, so it may be a 4v4 if the members of the red team can be here on time. Ritsu looking for an opportunity to root someone before they get a chance. Periphery lands the ult onto Mina the Assassin, heads right on in, and will swiftly be defeated as Mina the Assassin gets a lot of their HP right back. Right as the Arcane comes out, looking for Doofies. Hits one, misses the next one. Hits one, misses the next one. As the Baron is still being taken by Ritsu and Mina the Assassin. Quaib is here though, with 4,000 HP left on the Baron. Quaib is in a good position. King Yeti. Ooh, Cookie Nabber gets onto Doofies and onto Corpse Bride, as it's now looking favorable for red side as the Baron continues at 3k HP to be kept here by Quaib, but it's 4 members of the blue team that are here looking to destroy Quaib. Quaib gets knocked up into the air. There's no CC break, and 1 TP coming out from Poggle, who happened to be caught out before. 1v5 is the potential as the Baron is taken and Poggle is looking for blood. Poggle dives right in, does not connect the hook, and it is an ace for Lads Delulululus with the Baron.
So close. I mean, Sejuani lived there for so long, but unfortunately, Akshan is able to get onto the back line, take out the bot lane, and then, yeah.
Yeah, it was a real knight takes rook situation where Quaib tried to get into the Baron pit, succeeded, but then ultimately was not able to help their team.
Yep. And now Akshan is strong, Xerath is strong, so we'll see how much of a push blue team can get with this Baron. We have 2.5 minutes until the next dragon, so...
Yeah, it's getting to the point in the game where single picks can make the difference, like that pick onto Poggle. It opened up the Baron, and even though they seemed to make enough space and make enough time for Quaib to get there, it just was not coordinated enough in protecting Doofies and Corpse Bride, who are really the main source of CC and damage coming besides Poggle.
Yep.
Okay, the Right of the Arcane comes out. In addition to the Unstoppable Onslaught, and both Poggle and Periphery will fall, and that could be what they need to push with the Baron, as now 4 members of Lads Delulululus begin pushing up through the bot lane. And
yeah, I mean, it's a 3v5 for another, like, 30-40 seconds, so, I mean, blue team might be able to push to end here.
Yeah, and with the first inhibitor turret falling, this is opened up through bot, but Corpse Bride ult will get Mina the Assassin down low enough, and the ult from Ritsu will come out, and Corpse Bride struggles to stay alive. Manages to, but now, with the inhibitor so close to falling, it will fall as Quaib is trying to get the kills onto Emo Loser and King Yeti, but Emo Loser able to be disengaged just enough by King Yeti, and now Cookie Nabber, after taking that turret, will be coming onto Quaib, and King Yeti is going to fall to Corpse Bride, but Quaib falling will revive Mina the Assassin once more as Periphery is back. It is once again a 3v4, but of course Mina the Assassin is on the opposite side of the map. It's more like a 3v3 as blue team decides better not to overstay. Let's leave.
Yeah. I mean, and the bigger prize for blue team is actually in 30 seconds with the dragon coming up. So, I mean, we're still like Quaib going to be dead as dragon spawns. So, might be able to secure it and get their Temtech soul.
Yes, which would be so necessary to stop Sona from being able to really provide the tank that their team needs. We see the TP coming out from Emo Loser as now it looks like this dragon fight has already started before it's even up as Poggle evades the Xerath E. The Vex ult lands onto Mina the Assassin, and Corpse Bride is going to fall as Cookie Nabber gets the easy assassination kill. Now, oh! Beautiful amount of damage coming out from Emo Loser as the Right of the Arcane begins with in coordination with Cookie Nabber's ult, and that is a total reversal of what we thought was going to happen there. As Periphery evaporates, Corpse Bride evaporates, Poggle goes down, and it's a 4v2 as Quaib and Doofies are trying to hold the base.
Yeah. They're not able to take out Akshan or Xerath toward the main damage dealers.
Ooh. Beautiful Sona ult stops Cookie Nabber from being able to just whop on Quaib, but Emo Loser doing so much damage. Basically one-shots Doofies through the heal, and now Quaib is the only one left as Cookie Nabber, King Yeti, and Emo Loser and Ritsu are trying to manage to land the root and get Quaib to stand still as they begin knocking down not 1, but 2 of the Nexus turrets. And now it's an open Nexus and only Corpse Bride and Quaib are here. Periphery is coming up in just a second, but will they be able to get through? No, the ult lands onto Scion instead of Cookie Nabber, and King Yeti trying to hit this Nexus. Will be able to get into their passive potentially as the stuns are used up. The Nexus is at just 10% of the HP, and the stuns are coming out onto King Yeti, and red side will live for just a few minutes more at the very least.
On the other side, blue side, Viego and Akshan are taking their Chemtech Soul, but really good defense from red team. I mean, I did not expect them to hold off until all the members respawned there.
Yeah, and with an open Nexus, it's very scary as they're going invisible on Akshan, they're going invisible on Viego, they're potentially got the Unstoppable Onslaught coming back on from Sion. They may be imprisoned in their own base at this point. Jake's Jammers, that is.
Yeah, I mean, the main objective now is Baron in 40 seconds, so they got to clear out waves, hopefully get a pick so they can get some vision onto Baron. Otherwise, yeah, they're not able to leave.
Yeah, they don't want to be in another Knight Takes Rook situation where the Baron is what leads to their demise. Like, the dominoes are going to begin to fall, and if they're not falling in your direction, it's very scary.
Exactly. We really need to see, I mean, Akshan and Xerath have been able to put a lot of damage from blue side, so really good work on them to stay safe, and it's up to red to get onto them.
Yeah. I think there's a few things that really need to happen. Doofies has been landing these Sona ults, but Periphery picking and hitting the right target with their ult makes or breaks the fight.
Yeah. Now that Akshan has GA, I think the main target is going to be Xerath for that Vex ult. So.
Okay, with absolute control over the Baron area, blue team now has a choice. Do we start and take the Baron and slowly begin to end this game as they are stuck inside their base? Or do we try somehow to bait them out? As they've decided to take the Baron, they are melting it. And without any vision or any idea that it's happening, red side is forced to sit and watch as the Baron gets taken. Now with the wave building up top, it looks like Cookie Nabber, King Yeti, and Mina the Assassin are going to simply walk it in as Ritsu gets hit by that Vex ult and will be deleted. But now it's 4 members with the Baron up in the top lane as King Yeti, Cookie Nabber, and Mina the Assassin. The Right of the Arcane comes out, and Doofies, whoa, 1 Right of the Arcane nearly destroys them. 2 puts them at 10% HP. We'll see as Poggle is able to get back onto the backline. Periphery is knocked up by King Yeti, and Poggle pushing, but not able to protect their own team as it's a 3v4 up here. Mina the Assassin, low health. The Doofies ult does stun King Yeti, and Poggle is able to get the kill onto Mina the Assassin, but the Cookie Nabber able to get the kill onto and revive Mina. Now Periphery looking for King Yeti, but the Cookie Nabber is dangerous and has GA here. Corpse Bride, Doofies, Periphery, and Quaib, the lone defenders waiting for Poggle to come back onto their side, but it's a slow game, and lads Lulus are willing to play it.
Good look from Poggle to try to get onto Xerath, and like with Xerath sums down, maybe they can get the kill next time, but unfortunate that it didn't pan out there.
Yeah, and Xerath isn't even full build yet. Corpse Bride, not even full build yet. It is 42 minutes into the game, and the APCs are only going to get stronger. What we've seen is that they are able to do squishy deletion.exe and run it efficiently. We'll see as the Right of the Arcane is back up, and lads Delulululus are looking for a siege. Mina the Assassin will fall to Periphery, and Cookie Nabber. Periphery gets onto Cookie Nabber as well, but it looks dangerous as Emo Loser slays Doofies with the Right of the Arcane, and Quaib is able to get onto Cookie Nabber over here. But on the mid inhibitor, King Yeti, Emo Loser, and Ritsu look to be able to destroy Poggle, and the stuns are just coming out like crazy, but the Zahen passive is there on time. Meanwhile here, Cookie Nabber is able to kill Periphery and get away with the heroic swing away from Quaib. Poggle still going, manages to get onto Emo Loser, but it's not enough as Emo Loser slays Poggle. Quaib is here to try to keep them away from this inhibitor as Corpse Pride just trying to get the plants to do damage to what are supercharged Baron minions. As there goes the inhibitor turrets. Looks like one tap will knock it down as King Yeti is able to nearly take it down completely. And it's an open nexus now as Cookie Nabber, Ritsu, the King Yeti, and Emo Loser slay Corpse Bride. Then comes Quaib. Doofies is the last one left, not able to withstand the unstoppable onslaught as Cookie Nabber takes that kill as well. And this game, after 44 minutes, will go to Lads Delulu Lulus.
Yeah, really well played by blue side. Good effort from red team as well. Just the late game Zerath and auction damage was just too much for them.
Yeah, and that's all it takes is a coordinated effort to push through.
Yeah.
And with that, we end what has been a roller coaster of games this week.
Yeah, for sure. These games this week have been really scrappy, really back and forth. I think in every single game we've seen both teams, the teams on either side have a lead at one point or another. It's really just like some of those like mid to late game team fights that made the difference in each one.
Yeah, and we have been going for quite a while. GG's to Lads to Lulululus and to Jake's Jammers. Of course, we will see and talk about this in the highlights as it's been a long night coming, DRK, and we've had great games. So It may be time for us to sign off.
Yeah, we had great games tonight, had fun casting. Looking forward to see how next week turns out. So
yeah, and as we reach the halfway point of this season, if you want to join CMSA, join us down in the panels below or in the YouTube bio. Join us in Discord, and we're happy to have you. We always need more subs so that DRK can skip out on the Pro League and join us on the cast. Just kidding. But with that, we'll bid you all good night and see you next week, same time, same place.